they are really oppressive. The Chen, the Hoodwink, the Disruptor, Shadow Demon, probably, maybe not the Hoodwink as much as the other three, but those three are really valuable in the current meta. But Beast Coast will be happy to take the Bat Rider into the
25
Tusk.
seconds without
Very
collapse.
interesting. Also, Estar Backs
Swap
can
it. They're going to
still
try and go
take the
aggressively onto
Grimstroke,
BZM. They swap him back under the tier 4s, but steps in with the disruption. Yatoro, they're going to burn through with the majority of the mana here from Tomato, and Yatoro is considering his next target. He'll look over towards the Morphling, but he gets caught by the bashes of Whisper. He has to split back up. Backs off under the tier 4s. Collapse gets caught once again on the front line. Cookie's in. They're taking the Aegis out of Tomato's hands.
Was BZM?
Oh, he gets him. There's no chance to kill BZM, though. Oh, maybe there is Yatoro. Okay, he gets the kill, but he's losing his teammates. Can Yatoro do this? He's going to go over towards Step, but the Glimmer Cape is there.
Tomato's there, though.
And he's going to turn over towards Tomato. They've got the Cookie in on towards the Morph. He's losing his...
Tusk as well, so it'd be a little awkward if you played it in the off lane, but like pretty solid. Can't really die, so why not?
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see that. I'm like almost positive these will be both supports, Tusk and the Bat Rider, and they're gonna use the Enchantress as well. Great hero, more and more play. Actually, the most picked hero currently at ESL 1 Birmingham. It has the Sproink, which will be the shard, I assume, will probably drop it from Tormentor, can reposition herself outside of the ice shards, and of course the Enchant, probably one of the most interesting spells in the current meta. The way I call this Enchantress, Enchant, is sort of like a poor man's Shadow Demon Purge.
Yeah, the movement split is just as impressive as that Shadow Demon ultimate, and you get it a lot earlier. But Bat Rider, most picked hero in the turn and both the group stage and the tournament. Of course, cyberscore.com for all the stats that you need. Been played 37 times. 37 games. We've seen this Bat Rider. It's 120 of them, so you know, slightly above 50% win rate, but when it's not getting picked, it's probably getting banned. But this Bat Rider is that big hero, and I don't know if I would pick a low mobility support into a hero like this.
Neither would I. I mean, the Vengeful was there, the Grimstroke still in the pool, but Estar Backs wanted the Crystal Maiden and maybe using the Aura for the Dragon Knight, and they have a lot of lock right now, right? The Frostbite, the Dragon Tail, the Tusk Snowball, the Walrus Punch, even the Shards to some extent. So they're trying to go for something else, and obviously Crystal Maiden brings you a bit of that nuke AoE damage that you might need in the early mid-game portions. Also, very old counter to any sort of hero like Enchantress that runs a neutral creep, right? You get a neutral creep, you throw a Frostbite on it, and it's just stuck in place for about 8 seconds.
And I mean, on top of that, the ultimate coming out from the Crystal Maiden is so good against Enchantress. Enchantress can't do anything. The moment you use your ultimate on Crystal Maiden next to Enchantress, you just hands off the keyboard. Doesn't matter. What you're doing, what you thought you could do, not going to be impactful. And the Razor, I'm assuming, if we're going to be seeing this either Kunkka mid or Kunkka off lane, we have the Razor to go into that lane and give himself a really good lane.
I mean, Razor, I think it's one of my... I don't like this hero, but he plays very well in the current meta. One of the strongest, and I'm glad to see him make his way in here right now. Is gonna be paired up with the Tusk. So imagine a Snowball Razor coming on top of you. We'll have a lot of setup from the CM and the Dragon Knight. But Beast Coast respond very good with a Wind Ranger, and I'm happy they picked it here because I think it could have been banned out. The Wind Run to run away from the Razor, even from the Tusk Snowball, will be really good. And you mentioned this. My friend, they've got a lot of flashy mobility when it comes to Beast Coast. Even the Kunkka, right? Later on, Facebook's X marks the spot. You go in, you pop back out of safety. And this is really good stuff from both teams thus far.
It's going to be a matter of what kind of team fight both teams can come out here. I think both teams scale pretty evenly. Dragon Knight and Wind Ranger scale pretty hard one on top of the other, and Razor scales with Kunkka one on top of the other. I think another point and maybe another reason why they picked the Enchantress, when the Dragon Knight gets that Manta style going, you want to take one of those Dragon Knight illusions, get that level 4 or the Aghanim Scepter, DK, Elder Titan, Elder Dragon form illusion, and then just beat down on everybody. So Nice play. And again, the Enchantress, the pure damage from the impetus. I really like this Enchantress pick. The only problem that I'm seeing so far from the side of Beast Coast is just the amount of magical burst and lockdown that Estar Backs have. I don't know what they can do pre-BKBs on the side of Beast Coast to mitigate that pressure.
And normally you would say pick something like a Lifestealer, but you don't do that when the opponent have a Razor, right?
Yeah, you can't. You maybe go for like a Juggernaut, but when was the last time we saw that hero? You know what I mean?
I think someone tried to run it. I think it might have been actually Falcons trying to play that on Skitter, and that is one of the matches they lost, which tells us quite a lot because they don't lose that much in these days. So maybe Juggernaut currently not the best hero in the pool. I'm quite curious if we're going to have a safe lane Windranger, because that's kind of what a lot of these teams in EPL World Series have done lately. Not that much time left for Beast Coast, including reserve time, about 26 seconds. So they need to come out with something right now. The Sven banned by themselves. Quite a questionable one, but they don't know where they want to take this. They banned both the Brewmaster and the Sven, so they don't know what Estar Backs might be cooking or what might be flexing. Both the Razor and DK have been flexed a lot in the last couple of weeks, and the time is running lower and lower. 5 seconds for Beast Coast, and they're gonna come out with the Keeper of the Light.
Okay,
late.
that's weird.
I've got strong opinions on the Keeper of the Light.
Yeah.
I know he's believed as to being very valuable in the current patch, and he's really good versus the Dragon Knight. I do have to say that.
Yep.
Personally, I don't like it.
Okay.
Yep,
that's it. You just don't like. You just don't like him. You got a problem with the light.
I guess as a former Nigma fan, they've played Keeper of the Light mid so often, they lost so much with it, I'm traumatized.
Right, yeah. No, trauma does cloud our judgment, and I think I have to agree with you. You know, the coddle mid is something that comes out, like, out of the woodwork, you know, every few months, and then, like, it sees a huge amount of popularity, and then people realize, hey, wait a second, does this actually provide anything? I mean, this game, it's got a big heal, right? Huge AoE heal if you want to go that route, and the magic burst that he has really good against both the Razor and the Dragon Knight. Nobody on the side of a Estar Backs really that mobile. Like, DK can't really run anywhere. Tusk has Snowball, but after he uses Snowball, that's it. Crystal Maiden, we know Crystal Maiden gives 2 walking tokens for a reason in Crownfall, and I mean, Razor pretty fast, but when you get hit by that slow from the coddle, it's tough. So I think it's a pretty fine pick, but if anybody gets on top of you, you're just gonna end up in the fountain.
And there will be Faceless Void. Well, unlike the Keeper of the Light, I love this Void, and surprisingly, a lot of the EPL teams have stayed quite away from him. I don't know why, but he has an amazing AoE damage, gonna come in to deal extra pressure in the Chrono from the CM, from the Eye of the Storm of the Razor. Not the best matchup versus a Windranger, who, if she does manage to pop the Windrun, Void doesn't really like building into an MKB, so that might be a bit of a problem. Also, the Konka, a bit of a traditional counter to the Chronosphere. That's if you don't get caught in the Chronosphere yourself. I think, on the most part, both teams got what they wanted played. It's just me doubting the strength of the Keeper of the Light, which makes me slightly give the edge to Estar Backs after this draft.
I'm going to have to agree with you, Waxon. I think the Faceless Void is just such a strong pick. I mean, there's nothing that they can do into a BKB Chronosphere. And the moment you get Refresher on the Faceless Void, which will probably happen, I don't think that Beast Coast had the tower push to close the game out early if they get an advantage. What's going to happen is, I mean, Void is just going to get friggin' Refresher BKB, and then Beast Coast can't do anything. Like, you just kill 2 people with Chronosphere, and then the game is over.
I'm looking at the stats from the previous game, and I also believe one of the matches that Beast Coast got destroyed on was a Dark Mago mid Dragon Knight. And I have to be honest, Dark Mago, traditionally a really good melee mid player. His Dragon Knight did not impress me at all. I mean, hence they also probably lost that game. So I'm curious to see if he will have a bit more success on this time around for Estar Backs.
It's actually good. It's a really good thing that Beast Coast, I think, drafted.
Sorry. I have to apologize to the chat and to you. I'm completely wrong. No, Dark Mago actually won a game with Dragon Knight. The mid laner that I didn't like on a DK was Lumpy. My apologies. My apologies. Don't want to put Dark Mago on blast for no reason.
Yeah, no, Dark Mago, basically Waxen is saying you suck and you have no redeemable qualities about your mid. It's, good stuff there coming out from the co-caster. But yeah, I think both of us favoring pretty highly this Estar Backs lineup. And the one thing I will say about this Coddle, talking about this in the mid lane, is that DK is not a hero that can pressure the Coddle at all in the laning stage. Coddle will just continue to blast the creep wave. And it's kind of that thing where you want to pick up the DK to disrupt the mid lane, disrupt the enemy lane, who might, want to be a little bit more greedy. But this time around, it's a Coddle. But Waxen, it's a Coddle on the Dire side. This can't be as good as on Radiant.
I mean, probably not. Obviously, having access to those camp to keep on farming and stacking for yourself with Illuminate. But who knows? He might be just going to stack the opponent camp and steal it, as we're going to have an Illuminate blast going to come in. Not going to connect to anyone. And now the Frostbite plus the tag team is going to be a lot of damage, as the static link is going to get Vitality lower and low. Where is the Torrent?
He didn't... I guess he was going to go for Cleave level 1?
I see. Just to secure the range creep in lane.
Yeah.
That does kind of make sense, yeah.
Yeah. I figured I'd rather give a first blood than get Torrent level 1. Or maybe, like, I guess Torrent in this lane isn't bad, right? Because you can Torrent the Razor when he, like, links you, I guess.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Vitaly, in the game that they lost, or in the series they lost against Infinity, he struggled a little bit. Do you think that's going to happen again, Waxen?
Well, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, it's a bit too early to draw conclusions like that, but I wouldn't see why not. Also, why am I looking at the Gym Park off-lane Faceless Void? Hello?
Hold on. What are we looking?
Up top.
What?
We got a Faceless Void in the off-lane.
Is this just for the lanes?
Are you really? Yeah, I mean, yes, of course, that's clearly the case. But are you really that afraid of a Conka versus Void matchup? Because I think the Wind Ranger will do even better versus a core melee.
Why? Why would you do this?
Maybe you really want the Razor Illich to dominate Vitaly, and I think that should be the case. With that being said, Vitaly pushed their lane into the tower, and now Illich is struggling to get any of those last hits under the tower, so not the best start for him either, but now they're going to use the Plasma Field as they hit level 2, and El Micho, only a single flame break will not going to keep him alive for much longer.
He's just going to get run down the snowball as well. Matthew, going to keep the kill for Illich, who gets that kill. And this off lane for Beast Coast is in Struggle Bus City right now. That first blood on the Conka, I mean, hurting. So both of these heroes for Beast Coast have one death to their name, and maybe we're criticizing this a little bit too much. I mean, that Razor into this lane seems pretty good.
I mean, we know this is going to be a flawless bottom lane, but I'm just wondering if it's worth sacrificing your Void this much. Currently, a full creep wave behind Pyke in last hits already. And he's just getting right-clicked lower and lower by moves. Prada can't really do as much as an Enchantress can on this Crystal Maiden, right?
Yeah. No, you just have to kind of... Oh, well, Illich dies bottom. Looks like Torrent plus Flame Break got him. So, but he'll be able to reset, get some mana, I guess. This Razor only has 3 last hits as well. Hold on. Razor only has 3 CS.
I think you just completely ruined your own lane with this swap around, honestly. Yeah, they're getting punished by Beast Coast in big style, big way. Also, Vitaly, maybe one of these offlaners that has been rather quiet this tournament for me, despite Beast Coast doing really well. One of the heroes he's been doing great work on is this Conka, so maybe banning his Doom and letting the Conka through, not the best draft choice for Estar Backs.
We're seeing this Conka do a lot of work in this bottom lane already. I mean, he's got so much farm, and he's just existed in this lane. He hasn't done anything particularly, I would say, out of the ordinary, and got them that 1 kill, and he's getting CS. Like, I mean, Razor caught back up a little bit after that wave, but this mid lane, I mean, we're seeing Lumpy just farm and farm away. He's gonna stack as well. Got the double stack going, very nice. Gonna walk back mid, farm some more. He is a level behind the DK though.
It's because obviously Illuminate goes, if you get some of those last creeps out of your Kata lane, you don't catch the XP. And even still, despite getting 18 last hits, some of those are neutral creeps. They give both less gold and less XP. And look at Dark Mago just bullying Lumpy. I mean, oh my goodness.
You could honestly dive this tower here. The Flame Breath as well. Lumpy getting so low. Dark Mega wants it, but Dragon Tail not going to be up for another couple seconds. And I mean, if he gets caught... If Lumpy gets caught with Flame Breath or Breathe Fire here, he's dead. But Pop, what? How does Wind Ranger die to Prada Gym Park?
They really needed a kill there for the side of the Radiant, so they'll be happy with getting that. Maybe just investing Windrun a bit too early, and that's gonna actually salvage a bit of Gym Park's lane.
The CS from Estar Backs and both of these side lanes is just so low.
I'm interested to see what their comeback into this match will be, and maybe the answer is this Dark Mago Dragon Knight, who is doing a really good job thus far, and will probably start pressuring this tower. Quite hard to do so versus a spam of Illuminate from the Keeper of the Light, though. So, I mean, he can try.
He's got the double bracer, right? So he's healing for like 12 HP a second. But again, Lumpy, the only thing he cares about, farming up these side camps. He's got level 6 finished up, so, you know, kind of on the same pace of same level. He's gonna get stunned underneath this tower, so he won't actually TP to this bottom area. And Vitality getting run down under the tower. You have the X mark, but that does nothing to Plasma Field, and he's dead to that dive bottom. You wonder where the support was. Batrider was stacking in mid, trying to get that room going.
And now look at the Solar Bind, and now the rotate from Elisho in mid.
Beautiful flame break, throwing DK underneath that blast. The right clicks won't be enough. He TP's on out of there. And now they're gonna push this wave underneath the tower with the catapult. Beast Coast doing whatever they can to put the pressure out into this lane. They're gonna TP Vitality to get the wave, so nice play from them. Giving your Faceless Void a little bit more experience.
Yeah, and that's one of the aspects we haven't talked about. There's not that much reliable stun on the side of Beast Coast. I mean, guess you'll have the lasso and you have the X Torrent combo, but again, you need to land that. Now we see this attempt down bottom on Illich.
Yeah, bottom. I mean, you can really only run away, but with moves onto the side, that enchant slow is a little bit too much. The right click, no, the flaming, or the Firefly from El Nisho, sorry, getting that kill. And it's kind of falling apart here for the side lanes. I mean, it's one thing to be down CS, but it's, you can't be behind in terms of CS and kills here. And Pyke gonna be the target. Here's Matthew with that root from Prada. He gets stuck in the shards, hasn't popped the wind run yet. Oh, no, he has, and the right click coming through. They're trying to give Gym Park the kill. The bash is gonna be there with the tag team. So Matthew and Prada tag team, get the kill out of the Wind Ranger. It's a good start for Gym Park in this lane. A little bit of salvage.
Yeah, I mean, the Wind Ranger dying twice is pretty big, but despite all of that, she's still second in net worth overall, only behind the Dark Mago Dragon Knight. Win probability 63% favoring Estar Backs, despite two of their lanes going completely awful. Interesting. Dota Plus really seems to like this Faceless Void, and now Lumpy in mid tries to do some action.
Well, the action is living. The blast is going to get dodged with the snowball. Very nice play. The torrent coming out. No, it was a pump fake, actually. Matthew now getting chased down here. Lumpy. Oh, what a beautiful play to get him past the shards. And now they're going to continue to run him down. Dodges the blast. Can he get to these juicy bounty runes? No, instead the bounty on his head is going to be claimed.
It's going to be quite a lot of gold swing, not just because of the kill, but because of 3 bounties going in favor of Estar Backs. And now, Gym Park
gonna get hit with that torrent. A beautiful play. Will he be able to get on out of there? No, he can't. The shackle disrupting his time walk away. Pyke patient with the stun.
I think he could have popped the Chronosphere and TP back to safety, but I wanted to keep it as a potential danger all for Beast Coast when he respawns. So maybe not the worst save there. As Dark Mago still doing his best, and he will try to go for a Blink Dagger. About 900 gold away. Look at Matthew joining up close. They could kill both Lumpy and the Batrider if they want to dive, but it's still very risky.
I mean, the problem is Amisha. Oh, nice flame break into the blast. That took out half of his health. Hold on a minute. Out the Dragon Tail onto the Batrider. They're gonna go underneath this tower. There's 4 heroes on the side of Estar Backs. They want this tower. They do not care about the blast coming out from Beast Coast, and Lumpy's got a friend in Moose, but you don't have a friend in the tower. And they had the D-ward as well. Beautiful shards coming from Matthew. Gonna be enough to lock him down. The root coming onto him as well, but the Ice Blast continuing on. The Chrono onto 2 with the blast, but it's a turnaround blast from Lumpy. That's a beautiful double kill, and now Dark Mago gonna get pulled back. The Torn is not there, but the right clicks from Pyke are. And Estar Backs basically diving a tier 2 tower.
I said you could dive the tier 1. I said you could dive the tier 1 to get kills, and they did dive, and it worked. But I didn't say tier 2. That was not what I called, guys. So if you're listening to me, I'm a good coach still. Please hire me. But I gotta say, you know what was very impactful in that team fight? It was the overtime damage coming in from the Spirit Vessel of Lumpy, and that illuminated, that flew in despite him being in the Chronosphere. It was popped early. And with the Spirit form, it connected onto 3 targets. So, Keeper of the Light doing really, really good despite him getting shot down quite early by the Dark Mago DK.
And, I mean, with this beautiful Ancient Creep stack, he's going to get some more farm. He's got... that last fight gave him 4 Vessel charges.
Wow, that is quite a lot. And Misha's going to die to Illich.
Oh, I don't know.
Who used the Storm for that.
Why he's up there. Oh, I think Matthew might have chased him with the snowball up onto the cliff.
Possible, yeah, very possible.
Yeah.
He's got it in cooldown, so I assume that's the case. And now they're TPing mid as they're pursuing 2 heroes. Matthew, you need to protect him, but you don't have snowball.
Prada, you just got deleted, and the blast hitting now onto 2. Vitali doesn't have an X mark available, but they do have that solar bind. Gonna catch a Dark Horse. Nope. The actual snowball turnaround play. Mago gonna use the torrent, but Jim Park has arrived onto the backline. Gets blasted down as he time walked in, and now he's dead. A misplay. The math didn't line up. Vitali now gonna be the target of Illich. Who Lumpy? He's just gonna get out of there. He says, "No, thank you, my friend. I'm gone." Prada TPing in. Dark Mago getting lower and lower. Lumpy has arrived back. Maybe Prada can get out of there, but they still have that lasso available onto Amisho. Beautiful shot going onto the sideline. They pop the focus fire as well. Pyke looking for a little bit more. Blink
lasso
reveal on that lasso, but Prada the ultimate, the breathe fire turnaround combo kills both supports, and Beast Coast have to get on out of there.
How did we get a Blink Dagger so early on Misho's Batrider? That's what I want to know.
I mean, he has 33 CS, 4 kills.
4 kills, yeah, that's the big one. I mean, he's got 4 out of 11 kills on the side of the Beast Coast, topping the scoreboard alongside Dark Mago of Estar Backs. And in the end, Plate, this is reminiscent of back in the day when I was about the 2K MMR scrub and everybody would just fight mid continuously. Yep. That's what we're seeing right now, and I don't really hate it, as the fight will continue now to the bounty room.
Yeah, I mean, there's the only thing you can say to Vitali is you're dead, homie. You got the rune though.
That's not worth it, right? I think if it was minute 14 Wisdom, maybe stealing it from the Radiant, but for a single bounty, not good.
With the Wisdom, so Estar Backs got both of them.
I see.
Yeah, which is, you know, Matthew level 7, Prada level 6.
Going up top.
Oh my
goodness, Prada's there in the trees.
Yeah, Jim Park, he's got that time walk, so he'll be fine, but the Shackle gonna hit out that safety bubble. You're no longer safe. But I don't think he cares. He's just going to walk out.
What are your thoughts about this carry versus carry matchup? I mean, I know the Faceless Void was up top, but he is still going to be the carry. So, Windranger versus Faceless Void. I'm not going to ask you about the Ultra late game, but what about around minute 30? Who do you think has the slight advantage there if both of their games go decent?
It just depends on who Gym Park chronos, right? I mean, if Gym Park doesn't get the wind and chrono, they have damage to go into it with, like, I mean, basically everybody except for the Tusk, unless Tusk has tag team going and he's stuck in the chrono next to the target. But I mean, if Gym Park gets that chronosphere onto Pyke before the wind run comes out, Pyke is dead 100 times out of 100. There's just nothing he can do. But if he doesn't, Pyke will definitely have an advantage, just be able to wind run, chase him down. Got the power shot as well, so after the time lock, you're just gonna eat a 400 damage nuke, and it's so hard to play into. On top of the focus fire, right?
Yep.
But Waxen, this game is kind of incredibly even, and speaking of that Faceless Void having a decent game,
It doesn't.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. He's so far behind right now, dude.
I mean, you sack your Void to put him in off lane, hoping the Razor will be topping the network chart, and he has been slightly in like about 100 gold in front of his counterpart of the Kunkka, but he's definitely not taking over this game as he's got a Falcon Blade, Mithril Hammer, about 1,000 gold away from the BKB, and look at the smoke up top. Misho and Vitaly, they've got the potential to burst anybody on the side of the Radiant if they connect with this lasso ghost ship combo.
The problem is they have no way of seeing, except for if you're in vision, they're going to use the Torrent Prada. His ultimate is going to get canceled immediately. Gym Park on the side, kind of looking. Vitaly with that blade mail walks up to the high ground. Dark Mago, he's going to connect, and he does with that blink forward. Alec on the side, onto Pyke, and Gym Park time walking forward, uses the Chronosphere onto the Cuddle of Life, but it is their follow-up. Nobody is there. Vitaly is going to get 4-step forward. They get the kill onto Pyke with the Razor on the back line.
What?
Yeah, Alec got that kill somehow. Don't ask me how that's possible.
It was a 1 versus 1.
Yeah.
Windranger losing that duel because... No, Illich wasn't even level 12. He got his level 12 on the back of that kill.
I'm not sure
None of
how
these
that
two
happened.
heroes were in the teamfight plate. They just went in 1 versus 1. I thought Illich suddenly bought a blade mail, but he just didn't. He just killed the Windranger.
I thought it was a blade mail as well.
Maybe he wasn't full HP before the skirmish. No, he was.
He was.
The Razor dealt 1,600 damage. Oh, wow.
I guess he's just better.
I guess he's the actual carry, right? He played bottom safe lane.
Yeah, off lane Faceless Void, I guess. I mean, he's going Mjolnir BKB, you know? It's like... I don't know, Waxen. I don't know. This is... It's weird, but it's like... I would say it's cooking, but beastcoast had that 4,000 gold advantage. It's not like they're crying about it.
It's
really
hard.
They have the lasso in 3 seconds. You know Batrider's looking at Dark Mego mid.
Dark Mago does. Dark Mago can manage to get his Yasha in. He's getting closer and closer to his Manta. He really doesn't want to die because he has been like the shining grace of his side. Of course, the Razor just got a solo kill. So there's 2 of them starting to shine now. But he needs the Manta style. And what are you going to go after this on the Dragon Knight? Are you going straight into Axe?
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's
what I would do. But I've been seeing these Dragon Knights going back for like Mage Slayers or like Shards, really random stuff over the last few days. I've even saw one of them going for Octarine pre-Aghanims.
That's I mean, that's a little weird, but it makes sense, I guess. But Beast Coast, they can't lose Razor again. I mean, Razor's got the Yasha gonna go for a Manta style next, but Matthew trying to hunt for a hero. Maybe he's gonna be the one that's hunted. Nice snowball dodge onto the Torrent. Doesn't have a blink dagger, so it's not like he can really get out of this. Gonna be 400 gold away from that.
I guess he did force the spirit form of Lumpy. Will be in cooldown for a minute or so when it expires. So it's the small things that matter at this point in time. Despite being 4k down, Dota buff still really favors Estar Backs by 5 or 6%. Again, maybe Dota Plus doesn't like Keeper of the Light core either.
I actually don't know what it doesn't like. Maybe it's the Windranger? Like Windranger versus Faceless Void could be it. Oh, hold on a minute. What? How did Omisho end up there?
He wanted to just fly over the map and maybe find a pick-off, jumping someone in the backline, but he was the one getting jumped up in the end.
Yeah. Happens. They got the tower killed. They smoke up. No sentry ward. Doesn't matter. Gonna go up into this top lane, and they know where Pyke is. He's gonna win run away. Are they gonna make a... They're gonna make a play on the Pyke, I think. I mean, Estar Backs hunting. Moose will be the one that eats the gank, though. He tanks it for them. A lot of magic damage, but nice force staff means the Enchantress will be fine. And now they abduct the Crystal Maiden. Matthew gonna get right click down the snowball save, gonna try to get there, but the blast from Lumpy and the right click from Pyke gonna be more than enough to bring down the two supports of Estar Backs. Although I guess consolation prize, they get a tower for it.
I don't think I've ever heard anybody before you chrono that
bottom. He's gonna get chronoed. The link is there as well. Ghost ship, boot the BKB. Not gonna be enough. Trying to give himself the run buff.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone else before you played call the lasso for the Batrider abducting someone, but I love it. I think I'm gonna steal that one. I'll use that in the future. Also, Vitaly, see, this is what I mean. Again, I hate singling out players. No, I'm joking. I love singling out players. He has not impressed me at all this tournament, and previously he did very good in this Conca. Not now. This Razor, first of all, really punished him in lane, and now he's kind of giving away his advantage by dying a few more times. 0-5, Void is suddenly overtaking him on the back of that kill, so now he will be the least farmed hero on the map, still about 500 gold away from the Aghanims. Then he needs another 1500 for the Shard. Not a good game for Vitaly. That really kind of depends on the two Aghanim components before he can be a menace in team fights.
Yeah, he needs the Aghanim scepter. He needs BKB. I guess that's kind of the problem that I've had with Conca, is that you kind of need items to be able to like apply pressure to anybody that isn't a support. Like you can boat torrent like Crystal Maiden and kill them, but you can't do that to a Faceless Void. Like he'll be fine. And Illic, again, he has the BKB finished up, so he'll be fine. And you're definitely not gonna burst a Dragon Knight of all heroes. He's doubling back for that Orchid Waxen.
The Dragon Knight?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I was looking for the Razor and I was very confused. Yeah, Dark Mago, I like that. You know what, you don't need, it's the Orchid's much better than a Mage Slayer or the Octarine thingy that I've been seeing. I've been loving this Orchid for about 3 years now, since the attack speed component has been added, and I'm glad to see that tier 1 Dota is finally catching up to it. And now Moose, well, he's about to get caught up, but this drum.
The really nice shards. There's the force staff coming from El Nisho. 1 save, 2 save. We've seen that play before.
Lumpy gets the Wisdom Room, and now they're going to be going for the Shard. And that is the one downside I think Batrider currently has as a support. If he steals the Shard of the Enchantress, it's absolutely awful, right? Batrider Shard for support sucks. Shard on Enchantress, on the other hand, is absolutely amazing. So let's see, is Beast Coast gonna be favored by the gods and Gaben himself? 3, 2, yes, they are.
Yeah, they are. Both you and I were like, no, there's no way. I mean, it's going to be Batrider that gets it 100%. But no.
Yeah, I mean, this is a massive dub for Beast Coast. Of course, RNG, we love it, we see it, but look at Moose just about to tank a gank bottom.
Like, tank a gank, I mean, he is Omega dead, my friend. There's really not a whole lot you can do besides buy a little bit more time for the team. Matthew doesn't have the snowball, but the Torrent is actually going to whip the Shackle alongside that beautiful Invis play with the Glimmer Cape, but oh, El Nisho, death, maybe overcommitting. Another blink forward onto Dark Mega, but they're going to use the Torrent with the boat onto DK. Doesn't have the BKB, going to get run down by Pyke here. The Chrono Sphere, but he got caught by the ultimate, and now he's pushed out Jun Park. He died. His Chrono Sphere means nothing. And with 1 blink away, Dark Mega, he will get out alongside the Razor, but Beast Coast, Vitaly got RNG blessed.
Okay, I'm gonna be looking in about 40 seconds to see if, even after throwing that team fight so hard, if Dota Plus will still favor the Radiant side. Currently does, but of course it takes a few moments to get in the effects of the team fight. 2,000 gold swing, and that was an absolute overcommit and a half. First of all, the Chronosphere, you kind of time walked onto the low ground and then hit uphill only a target. Then the BKB of the Razor wasn't really good, kind of had to run back. Tusk, of course, blew a lot of his utility to get that support kill. In the end, didn't have a way to running away.
There's no BKB on the Razor, and the Glimmer Cape is the only save you have. But that's not a lot considering. Oh, Matthew with the snowball. Hold on a minute. Illick, he might be fine. He's just going to try to walk away. Prada with the ultimate coming out onto Vitali. But it's a 4-man pull, bringing you to the deepest depths of the ocean. Another stun. It's 4 dead on the side of Estar Backs. Vitali popping off 2 fights in a row.
I had Kunkka. Such an awful hero. I mean, he was so underfarmed about, what, 3 minutes ago, and then won the first team fight with the Scepter, got his shard and the Blade Mail, and now we just see him completely obliterating the AoE of the Radiant side. So now Estar Backs have one choice left currently. Play for the late game.
I mean, if it wasn't the play they had before, it's the only play they have now to get back into this game. They have to figure out a way to break up the Kunkka from comboing over and over again. I mean, they can't let him just cast spells, Waxen.
I mean, they really can't. And I have to say, we also have a set of 4 staffs that we saw already on beastcoast. So even if Elmishu jumps in the backline, he can reposition himself really far away with 1 4-staff, 2 4-staff drums. 3 4-staffs, actually. Lumpy has 1 as well.
They're trying to get the dual ward out of the Observer ward, but the Sentry on the side of beastcoast is going to stop that play. The Glimmer Cape, Prada trying his best. Waxen, this game kind of fell apart for Estar Backs a little bit, and by a little bit I mean a lot. I mean Lumpy, he's got this Octarine core finished up. When he gets level 20 and after basically this creep wave, he will be almost permanent spirit formed.
Wow. I mean, he's been doing a lot of good work. 6-0 and 11 on this Keeper of the Light. You know, probably heard us complain about this keeper and wanted to show us why it is a really good hero. And he's doing great, right? Of course. Would I say he could have had the same impact on other heroes? Maybe not, because other heroes wouldn't have had such a great skill build and item build more than anything, actually, with the Spirit Vessel into the continuous nukes. But now, because of this luxury advantage that they have of 10k, they're gonna go in the pit and secure the first Roshan and plate. I don't know if I spoke to you about this. I feel like I talk about this with all the other casters. I love getting the first Roshan on the Dire side, because this means second Roshan, you will have access to the cheese.
Yeah, getting cheese, incredibly important. It's a lot better than Banner, I'll tell you that much. I feel like Banner is just a waste of an item. They could do so much better than that, but...
What would your solution for Banner be in the upcoming patch that definitely wasn't meant to come about 2 months ago? What would your solution for Banner be?
Banner, I think I like the idea of Banner buffing a creep, but I wonder if Banner should, like... I get that they want to add a consumable. I think you would just have to change the consumable that Roshan gives you. I'm not sure exactly what that would be. I'd have to put a little bit more thought into it. Maybe as much thought as Illick right now. You know, you see moves onto the side, but oh, that is a beautiful play. And the Ignis Fatus locking him down even more. Illick, he dies wondering what else he could have done.
He could have popped the BKB, maybe.
Yeah.
I think Banner is a cool concept. And I don't hate it as much as most people do, but I still think cheese is way too valuable to opt for the Banner. Of course, I think there's ways to rework it. I don't think it has to be replaced.
I think, do you remember the neutral item that was like the repair the tower one?
Repair kit, yeah, of course.
I think repair kit would be a lot better than Banner.
Oh, I see. But would it be a repair kit like in the game that we don't talk about, League of Legends, where you can even like respawn the building, or just the old repair
just
kit?
the old one, just the old one. I think respawning buildings would be way too overpowered. That would be problematic. Maybe not as problematic as this tier 3 tower. That shackle is illegal. Tower falling lower and lower. There's no Faceless Void, so no Chronosphere going to be available. I think he's trying to get that BKB going. Maybe he has it, maybe he doesn't. But what we do know is Beast Coast have that Aegis of Immortality on the Wind Ranger, so he doesn't really care. The smoke up on the back line. El Micho looking for a target, looking for a come up. Can he find it though? I mean, and you can see that Dragon Knight now. It's the stolen one, dealing damage. And the beautiful Ignis Fatuus starting to play, but the link gets canceled immediately. The lasso is saved. I don't think the Dragon Knight really cares about having all these spells cast on him, but he cares about being repositioned. The Focus Fire coming out here, the pre-damage from the beautiful play coming out from Beast Coast. And up to get that kill, and they're still not bringing back their carry. I mean, you need to come back, friend. You just lost your mid. You're going to lose one lane of Rax, 2 lanes of Rax coming down from Beast Coast as well, as this middle tower under so much pressure. What is this Faceless Void waiting for? BKB, dude? That's like
He's
2
desperate
minutes
for
away.
BKB, yeah. I think they don't want to fight into this Aegis, right? You pop the Chrono, even if you kill the Wind Ranger once, she respawns and she completes you, wipes you down. Maybe a bit of an overcommit from Dark Mago there. I think they should have just sacked the Raxes completely. So let's see what the plan is. They will play with 4 Raxes down, 2 full Raxes completely collected, as this Void still doesn't have his BKB, but does have level 20 with more attack speed in Chrono, so maybe look at him coming through behind them.
Maybe, but I mean, you're just bleeding kills one after another. I think Beast Coast, they know something's up. They go smoke up onto the low ground, but it's a wraparound smoke from Estar Backs. It's smoke on smoke action. They want to get this Coddle. Who's the target here? He's completely shown, and Matthew blinking forward, but they abduct the Faceless Void. He's lassoed. He's going to climb walk in. Doesn't use the Chronosphere. Instead, El Micho, he's going to be the target of the Dragon Knight Illusions. They're pumping in. Illic has turned around with that BKB. It has expired, though. The right clicks, the Focus Fire is more than enough. The Mantis Style not going to be enough. He gets pulled back with the Chronosphere. It's a beautiful wave to at least stall it a little bit. Prado with the ultimate coming down on the low ground. Moves now onto, he's been surrounded, and now Beast Coast, they're trying to save themselves from getting completely time wiped. The blink forward, the Dragon Tail gonna keep them locked down. Pike with the Mantis Style. Force that forward. The Shackle gonna hit out onto only one hero, but Beast Coast, everybody's died on their team as the Estar Backs, the beautiful wraparound play. We criticized Jim Park for not showing up, but when he did, he absolutely popped off.
But is it too late, Plate? Because unless Dark Mago can join up, and he doesn't even want to join, he's just farming jungle for some reason, to collect the tier 2 and maybe a tier 3, to put the pressure on Beast Coast. This team fight, yes, you swung like about 8,000 gold in your favor, and a lot of XP will come back on your side now, actually having the advantage in XP overall in this game. It's not that bad for Beast Coast. They still got 4 Raxes and a few kills before being team wiped. So
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, obviously we know late game Estar Backs is gonna be stronger because they have a Faceless Void with a Chronosphere. But can you really hold Rax?
Maybe. I mean,
Matthew,
we're in the weird.
Just died.
Okay, yeah, he's a dead boy. We're in the weird part of the game where Estar Backs have an experience lead and Beast Coast have a gold lead. Mind you, the experience lead is 500 experience, but I think it really just comes down to the fact that you just need to find around Chrono. And Jim Park now has that BKB available, so he can use those Chronospheres a lot more aggressively and not worry so much about getting caught out. Prod, on the other hand, has to worry about getting caught out while TP on out of there.
I think buybacks will also be very important, right? If you get buybacks on Beast Coast, even if you get team wiped, you only have a single Chronosphere, so you can come back instantly. But speaking of buybacks, the Radiant side doesn't care about it, as we have a Demon Edge purchased for Jim Park. Look at it, splitting the lanes with the Dragon Knight Illusions in mid, and they're all smoked up bottom. Look at the damage from the Enchantress Trolls, just hitting the tier 3. Not gonna get more than 27 damage total, but it's interesting to just maybe bait someone to come back and defend.
27 that's 27 damage you can't get back. You don't have a Treant Protector on your team, you know what I mean?
If it's a base race.
Yeah. I'm telling you, Waxon, people think, oh, you know, you just fed your creeps. Nah, dude, every advantage matters in Dota. 27 might be the difference between the whole game. Probably not. Chance of that is happening very unlikely, but pretty important. Not as important as Jim Park. He's got this BKB finished. Mask of Madness. What item do you think finishing this MKB is the good call here?
Yeah, of course. There's only one way in which you lose, and that is if Pike out-damages out-survives your burst. So I think it's the correct choice, especially he's also playing versus Blinding Light, right? That's a lot of missed chances from the side of Beast Coast. He needs an MKB. And not just that, amplified damage in the river, Pog champs. And it's gonna get taken by Jim Park, doesn't hesitate at all. But do you really have the tools? Yes, they did. I mean, they believe they do. They smoke up and they're going. No MKB completed yet. This might be a bit too overzealous. Hopefully this amplified damage is not gonna force them into making a mistake right now.
I think Beast Coast, like, Beast Coast are farming a weird part of the map right now. Normally, they would be farming this bottom area because that is where, you know, their top and middle wave is getting pushed out, so you don't really need to be there. The creeps will always push that out, but instead they're opting to farm their jungle, keep the waves top and middle pushed out, and it's a bit of a fail gank, bit of a fail smoke coming from Estar Backs, but it was the correct play. I mean, that is likely where the enemy team is going to be, and now they have to TP back and keep their waves alive.
Curious stuff, very curious stuff, as the amplified damage will run out and Beast Coast will claim both of the Wisdom Runes, reducing some of that. If you could take a look at the XP graph, it's actually very funny looking right now.
Oh my goodness.
But back to even, I would say, overall, Dota Plus gives Beast Coast a 75% win rate chance. I think until they get 5 buybacks, I'm still gonna give them a lower chance at that.
Yeah.
But they want to get Roche, which is up top. And Estar Backs, they need to actually start moving their way now if they want to contest this. This Roche is actually melting. So I don't think they have the way to contest it.
No, this is way too fast. I mean, focus fire onto Roche, one of the best ways in the game to kill Roche.
He's also got the Nemesis Curse on the Wind Ranger, which is going to give you a lot of extra damage, but if you get caught... Ooh, Jim Park bottom.
Faceless Void doesn't have MKB, otherwise I think he would have gone for that play.
No, definitely not. Versus an Aegis Wind Ranger? No.
But with that Aegis, I mean, this is going to be the time for a Estar Backs. This next fight could be make it or break it, Waxum. Haste Root!
Oh, haste. Nice steal. But now he's revealed his position. Elmicio and Vitali are actually going his way, but Hasted Void has the shard for, well, he's had the shard for about 10 minutes, so he's fine. Also, level 20 hit on the Razor. The Eye of the Storm interval strike, minus 0.1, is going to be a bit of more extra damage if he can survive through this team fight or just assist the Faceless Void, who needs 97 gold for his MKB.
I missed the Razor build where you would go BKB, Aghanim Scepter Refresher. Oh, but the kickback onto Pike. He's got the Aegis of Immortality. He gets force sapped out, and now, Matthew, you're going to pay for your sins. The Ignis Fatus dying in exchange, but he is one of the few heroes on the Radiant side that have buyback. I mean, it's this...
This could be it, actually. It could be a good bait play. You think the Tusk is dead, you dive in, Tusk buybacks, kicks you in the fountain. This could be something.
I mean, they have to smoke up. They're going to look for something. El Micho, he goes forward, and they do end up using the buyback on Matthew. Do they get the lasso? Yes, they do, but it's going to be enough for anything. And the Chrono onto the back line. Slumpy, he's going to be the target of this beautiful play coming up from the Faceless Void, who ends up getting the kill. He is going to be able to time lock up onto the high ground, so beautiful play. And Pike now, he's the target. The force stats coming out from Beast Coast, more than enough to keep him alive. Almisho uses the buyback, but Pike gets hit by that slow. The time dilation is there, the right clicks from this Dark Mego, more than enough, but the turnaround kill. They get it onto Illic before he dies, and Matthew, trying his absolute best, has the kick available. The snowball is going to be there, but Dark Mego pumping in the damage onto Vitali. It's not him that's the target, though. It is Pike, and he has died, and now Dark Mego using the Manta to dodge the flame break, and Vitali trying to TP on out of there. Will he be able to? The Dragon Tail not going to be able to connect. And Moose, he TPs as well. Beast Coast, they get one tower, but lose their Aegis. They lose their mid, and they lose their carry.
And they didn't get the racks, and because they hit the melee racks does have 5 per second region, so
Yeah.
it will slowly come up. There was a buyback from the Razor, the Tusk, and the Bat Rider, so in that aspect, a pretty equal trade. You're quite happy for Beast Coast. You managed to save your courses buyback. Quite intriguing stuff, going very much back and forth, and this is the problem right now. You are playing versus a Chronosphere, and we haven't seen the craziest Chronos, right? Jim Park just went straight in the backline for the Keeper of the Light. If the Keeper is outside of the Chrono, he can save one of his teammates with the Wind Waker.
But he wasn't. He got chronoed, and
Yeah.
I think if I know this Jim Park guy, he's gonna dismantle his Mask of Madness for a Nullifier.
Dire's middle tower is under
Look at Matthew, he's just fearless, going, wants to kick someone. Proper football, 2024 Euros.
You gotta be careful, Coddle.
Dire's middle tower.
Oh,
has
the
fallen.
force staff. Who force staffed him? He force staffed himself. Oh, the Dragon
Our
Tail
Bubble jumps
forward.
in.
Matthew he can't close the distance with the blanket.
Lasso!
Yeah, that lasso, beautiful play, punishing him, but he's got the snowball. He just doesn't have the blink, it's not on cooldown. Trying to get the damage done onto El Misho with the Dragon Knight illusions. Yeah, Zeus ulti.
The next big time. Oh, Matthew doesn't have a buyback.
No,
Yeah,
he
of course,
doesn't.
we
He
thought he
died
just
back.
bought back last fight.
Yeah.
So that is awful for them. Beast Coast actually right now probably not going to be wasting any more time as they realize we can't get kicked back. One of the big defenders of the Radiant side is dead, but Pyke purchased his Mithril Hammer. Oh, he's got his BKB flying in, so he will not have buyback, but he will have a full BKB in this next team fight. Very interesting minute until Matthew respawns. We actually have level 25 backtrack available for the Faceless Void. This is gonna be a very important team fight played. Who will come out on top of the next skirmish as both teams still have Fortify.
It's
So
just gonna
Estar
come
Backs
down to the
can play behind
chrono.
that. Yeah.
It's just going to come down to Chrono, and I'm surprised he didn't go for the Chronosphere AoE, actually. It might have been, you know, you catch another core into the Chrono, it could be game-winning, but Prada, he's getting bullied a little bit. Illic onto the side, doesn't have that buyback either. But the Chronosphere onto 4! It's a beautiful Chronosphere! You can't expect anything more! And that is, of course, going to be the kill out onto 1. Illic now running just face first at Vitality, but the turnaround damage out onto the Razor going to be enough to get the kill. And Dark Mago, the time lock onto the low ground. He's got 3 seconds left onto his time lock, but the bash is coming out onto Lamisha with that BKB. Not going to be enough. Time lock again forward. Moose uses the Hurricane Pike, has a Dagon for some reason. We'll never know, but he's trying to juke and jive through the trees. It said he is going to live and die as the right click coming through. One more. Jim Park put the team on his shoulders and Chronosphere 4 people. Laxon is the first beautiful chrono of the game.
He really wanted to take that fight while the Tusk was dead, and he tried. In the end, Keeper of the Light getting caught again. Lumpy, back-to-back mispositioning. Of course, the Void just plunged trying to get him and just barely managed to do so. In the end, it's very, very hard for Beast Coast right now. They have lost their entire gold lead pretty much. The XP has a long switch in the favor of the Radiant. Again, probability for the side of Estar Backs. Quite intriguing to see what the next step in their build-up will be. The Bat Rider BKB, pretty pointless. We saw it popped again, didn't do that much. I think we might need to dream of purchasing an Aghanim Scepter for the Bat Rider in the future. Also, the Dagon on Enchantress is, you asked about this, right, Plate? It's for killing the illusions, right? One of the big aspects is Dragonite illusions are very, very pesky. Even Void has illusions, so you just use a Dagon and take one of them out.
Opting to be the one that has to kill the illusions. That job falls to the Enchantress, who canceled their own TP. We saw that out in 4K. It's actually 1K. I don't have this system to do 4K, but that's okay. But I mean,
got caught in 8K by 4 of you got caught in 8K by the Chronosphere. And I think, I'm telling you, the win condition for Beast Coast here is you need buybacks. They're smoking again for some reason. I think maybe they want to take a fight before Roche. But if you have buybacks, you lose to a Chrono, you buy back, and then you win the game. that is the plan, but they don't want to follow it. They are really greedy. They think they've got the advantage because of the creeps continuously pushing in, because of the lack of Rexes in middle and top for the Radiant. So they're gonna go again, and they're trying to scan. They're trying to clear the bottom side area to secure the Roshan, but sadly, I don't think they're gonna be lucky with back-to-back short timers. The second timer was very short. Now we're gonna find out in about 8 seconds.
We're gonna find out here in a handful of seconds, Waxen, when this Roshan is going to arrive, and this is the big one. This is, you know, we've seen Estar Backs, it's like pretty quick, but it's not lightning quick. And Estar Backs, they know immediately that there's a Roshan being taken. They're not going to get there in time, but, I mean, we've seen Estar Backs give up both the first and second Rosh. They're not going to give up the third Rosh.
Yeah, they will definitely contest. They will do everything in their power to do that. With that being said, they are going to be heading down bottom. Roshan will spawn top. So they'll just see the creep. And beastcoast has the sixth sense. They're not afraid of Rosh spawning in right now. And they already went top to wait for it. And 5 players waiting. And beastcoast does have the advantage in this scenario played. Because like we said, the waves are pushing in. You need to go and defend. And Jim, Parker, and Matthew praying, Roche, please come. 20 seconds, I beg you. But they will not be fortunate enough with this one.
The problem is, like, wait. Hold on.
Dire are scanning.
No, it is going to spawn top with like 10 seconds to spare. Yeah. That's crazy.
Come on, Plate. Mathematics.
I have North American education, dude. I went to school in a very small town. Actually, my high school was in the middle of a cornfield.
My high school just recently sent a few students to the International Programming Olympics. This is like 14-year-olds we talk about, and they won the worlds, okay?
Oh, okay.
My maths is also not a strength. I didn't do maths, I did social skills, but I'm gonna pride myself with other people's achievements, right?
Yeah. Okay, well, if we're gonna do that, one of my good friends from high school made a floor tile that produced electricity when you stepped on it.
Whoa. I mean, you need to put me on that thing, because that sounds incredible.
Yeah,
the Michael Jackson type stuff.
Crazy, but what might be crazier is the fact that Estar Backs, they're going to try to contest this. No vision at all for them. It's not even going to be fast enough, and now they're going to run the heck out of there. They're they want to put a ward up onto the high ground. Maybe bait a fight here with these illusions onto this juncture point where the river meets.
This might be a mistake, but if they can blow up one of the supports early on to have a player advantage, might just work out as Illich is going to support Moose, and Moose gets kicked away. Great separation.
Yeah, you're dead here.
Jim!
This Enchantress, Jim Park looking for a little bit more. Vitality's got to be
Jim
careful.
On the floor. Massive loss. Moose was going up there to the cliff because he wanted to deward with the gem, but in the process he gets repositioned by the beautiful Walrus kick, and now they lost the gem. So you might have taken Roshan, but that was a very big job for Estar.
They know where Pike is because of this deep ward that they placed a little while ago. And Dark Mago on this high ground isn't going to spot him out as well, but with the ward, they do see Pike again.
Yeah, they'll collect a final tier. No, actually, not even a final tier. No. What am I talking about? They still have one bottom. Wow, Beast Coast. They have 6k gold lead, but if they would be equal in buildings, they would actually trail behind in the net worth overall.
It's like a false sense of security, right? When you think you're ahead, and it doesn't even come down to the amount of kills and gold that you've given the enemy team. It just comes down to the fact that you're building
50-50. Look at the Dota win percentage. Dota plus 50-50 after 50 minutes. What a matchup. And this is only game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Who cares about ESL 1 Birmingham when we got this 2 Peruvian squads battling it out right now for a chance to survive in EPL World Series?
This is the lower bracket, right? Both of these teams were first in their groups coming into this tournament, and they both fell short at the same juncture. And I mean, this honestly, Waxen, could have been the grand finals.
Oy.
But instead, it's not even like the lower bracket finals. It's the lower bracket semifinals. No, it's the quarterfinals, isn't it?
This is the lower bracket semifinals.
Is it? Okay. Well, I mean, Pike, the final of his life might be flashing before his eyes as he uses the BKB. He's going to focus fire as well. He still has the Chronosphere onto the Batrider only, but there's a
refresher
onto
no mana.
He caught Pike, but he doesn't have any mana. You need mana to cast spells, my friend. He time walks forward. They know that the Chronosphere is still available, but with the BKB used onto Pike, I don't think that Estar Backs are going to, Beast Coast are going to commit. Instead, this Tormentor will be killed in a few seconds. They give the shard to Tusk, who has ice shards now.
Incredible, but there's an amplified damage in the river. Still, the refresher was used. Sadly, no double back-to-back Chronosphere, but he will have it available for the next team fight as Beast Coast is playing very, very patient. And they will spot the amplified damage in the river. Vitaly? Hello? Hello? He didn't see the amplified damage.
No, he's more focused on getting the Dragon Knight Blink TP. Is he going to get it? No, the Shackle's going to connect on him. He has to try to mantle, but he cannot dodge that. And the focus fire knows who you are. Oh no, Crystal Maiden, you've been grabbed. Plucked from the clutches, lassoed and pulled back Western style.
We got 10 buybacks available in 90 seconds on the Aegis of Pike. Crystal Maiden buys back instantly. A Razor. He had buyback a second ago.
What did he buy?
He's buying his refresher pieces.
He has refresher now. He has refresher.
But he still has the buyback.
Yep. He's 100 gold away from buyback. Jim Park onto that side. You know he's looking for that Chronosphere angle. You know he's looking for the Chronosphere angle.
No!
He goes in at the worst time. And now with the BKB, he's going to get caught with the Shackle. Flame break onto the low ground. Focus fire going to connect, but it will not be enough burst damage. And do they have anything else? Oh, beautiful Manta dodge from Pike onto the Dragon Tail. Doing everything he can to limit the amount of aggression coming from the side of the Estar Backs. They need to protect these racks. And Beast Coast still sieging down, using the Dragon Knight illusions to their advantage. Prada getting the stun out on the Wind Ranger. The kick back, a beautiful play. Who can abduct who? But they have the beautiful play from the X-Mark. A Chronosphere onto 3 this time. It wasn't the 4 from the last time, but it's pretty good. And now Park has to time lock on out of their Lich, or Illic again, uses the refresher. He's got, I cannot believe what I'm seeing because the graphics are being completely bugged out. Colonel with the Windbreaker away, but Lemisho getting chased down by Illic, who has to deal with Pike beating into the damage, but beating into the vitality. The buybacks are coming out one after another. Are they going to buy back onto the side of the Estar Backs? Are they going to match the aggression? The stun from Wind Ranger so long. Nice Windbreaker from the Lumpy, but again, Jim Park trying to play with his food a little bit, but maybe he's going to be the one that gets played with. The right click's coming through. He uses the Manta.
Snowball.
Gets hit with the Snowball. Can time lock out of there, and he will. But Vitaly, he is there with the Torrent as well. The Blast, but the Yield Set, they're saving his life a little bit more. Can he time lock out? Yes, he can. Will he time lock back? No, he won't. Then the Lasso there, getting the kill onto that poor boy, the Faceless Void. He's going to die, and now the Dragon Knight, it's a dieback for him. 2 versus 2, and we're looking at Illic. He has to do everything he can. The ultimate is going to get popped, and that's what's causing the problems. The problem for Illic is that he has died back, and now Estar Backs, they can do anything besides hold this Rax. No, they're not even going to go for Rax. The Ancient is going to fall here. GG is called onto the side of Estar Backs. They know they can't do it. The BKB onto the Faceless Void, not going to come in time to stun. He is permanent, and he will get forced forward with the time walk. Not going to be enough. The Ancient dies, and Beast Coast comes back from a game that they were ahead in, almost threw it away, but GG is called, and they will take game 1.
What a game. What a game. Back and forth, through and through. In the end, Beast Coast will prevail with one of the longest team fights we've seen in a long, long time. Great play. Shout out to Moose and Pike for doing a lot of the kiting and damage in that team fight. And of course, Lumpy with a lot of heals flying in from his Illuminate to sustain his team. Buybacks after buybacks after buybacks. In the end, Estar Backs falls despite holding without 4 racks for about 15-20 minutes.
I think it just comes down to your lanes, dude. Those are so weird. You had Faceless Void against a Wind Ranger instead of yeah, I don't know. I guess they just didn't want to lane Razor into Wind Ranger.
Yeah, I think it was like I said in the mid game, they tried to outbrain, and in the end they got outbrained by their own decisions. Sadly, hopefully in game number 2, I like the draft overall. Hopefully we're not gonna see any funky swaps around, and just stick to what is again safe and sound. I talked about Beast Coast. They need to be committed to more basic stuff in the current meta. So hopefully Estar Backs will do some of that themselves.
Yeah, Waxen, before we get into game 2, who are you going to give MVP game 1?
I think it has to probably be the Wind Ranger, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no,
yeah, Pike.
Did, I mean, most amount of damage by Country Mile, and it's a tough matchup when you're going into Faceless Void for most carries, because you're just going to get chronoed, right? And you know, there were a couple times he got caught in chrono, but most of the time, I mean, he was just picking people off left and right with Focus Fire, had an Aghanim's Blessing himself, and I mean, what more can you ask for from your carry? But that is it for game 1, and we're going to head into game 2 very shortly. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Down here with the illusions. Tomato's getting low.
He's cleansed up. There's a heal coming in.
Can Yatoro make another jump? He's looking for his target. He's going to head over towards Ari. Tomato with the Stolen Spear's there. In fact, it catches him and kills him off. Ari with the outplay.
Ari is playing like a beast.
And there's nothing for Mira to do there. Poshka's watching from the side, maybe looking for a stomp setup. He's not going to get it, though. With the root instead, on towards Seb with the brambles. Jump in and a jump out from Lal. It's a little low on the mana. The Supernova comes out. They're not going to try and kill it. They'll let the spear from Collapse finish off Ari. The arena's down. Now they're ready to go back in for round 2. They look towards Seb. Seb caught in the arena. Tomato turns up. The Infest is there. Gives a bit of a burst heal to Seb to keep Seb fine. And it's ended up being Lal that's dove under the tower for this. He gets punished. Lal's out. Mira will manage to TP away. BZM, he'll get the deep one. He's going in for this one. Beyond the tier 3, but the Yules is there. Mira will be able to dodge the combo. Whisper's still ready to go, though. Jumps in with Tomato. They're diving into the base here. He's on towards Collapse.
It's deep.
They've got to be a little bit careful here, OG. I don't know if they can continue to try and get away with this. They're on the retreat. Lal will try and drag back Tomato. They've got the arrow, but the spin, it's not going to catch him. Tomato looks to turn, but he's still getting torn apart by Yatoro. Yatoro's back in action, and he's cleaning up. OG, they stuck around for too long. They've lost 3 of them. BZM also in trouble. I mean, they stuck around for that dive.
Spirit playing around their vision. They have that one ward they just placed.
Starting to jump out with the Wind Waker. Collapse.
Lotto. The gem is on top of him.
They've got eyes on him. They'll head back for now. They'll turn with the Bramble and the Curse Ground down onto Whisper. Tomato's got the BKB. Tomato. Still getting torn apart, but he's got the Axe. Will be able to jump inside of Yatoro for now. Yatoro also getting caught by the Fiend's grip from Ari. And that's a good grip. That's a big grip. He's out for 90.
Great
they kill off the Luna. Now they're ready for more. Let's see if they can find Collapse. Whisper jumps up to the high ground. Collapse trying to run away from the Ari. He's got Sleep back up. Be able to put his escape to a stop. Sets up for the X-Mark drag back. They'll get both the carry and the offlane here. 2 kills, both going the way of Tomato. I mean, you said things have been a bit slow from Ari with the grip.
Finds it.
But when he hits the big ones, he hits the big ones. It gets them the biggest kill they could hope, knocking out Yatoro for over a minute.
Pretty much perfect opportunity they could get there to bring things back for them. Tomato chasing forward with his brand new axe. Top.
He's going to try and stand around and fight. We'll have to zip TP. Didn't have anything to put a stop to that, even though his BKB did come to an end. Maposhka, on the other hand, though, he will die as well, was the case for Mira. So after it all, it's going to end up with Spirit losing 4 heroes. OG, they've pretty much done it in terms of rectifying what went wrong earlier.
They must have got the Seb speech, I guess.
I think they did.
Age is still on Whisper, and yeah, they have double hexes at the moment on the side of OG, so have to watch out for these catches. And yes, all 3 BKBs at the ready.
Oh, Collapse. He's been caught by the hexes, as you say, and he's out. Has got buyback available. May need to use it here, as he's otherwise out of the game for 80 seconds.
Ooh, I don't know if he saw the second one, because he stepped up a little bit far.
It's all right. He's going to consider getting in a position. They're going to try and go for BZM. BZM, he's going to get safe for now by the sleep. He's able to put the BKB. He's going to get healed up as well by Tomato. They keep BZM alive. The Supernova's out. Spirit, they've got to head back to the fountain. They've got to head back out of the fight. Collapse will jump in for the spear catch onto Tomato. They get the pushback with the fear. The full-on control with the vortex. Yatoro's in with the damage. It's enough. They've taken Tomato out. Spirit will hold, and they'll chase out for more. The Spear push back onto Whisper.
Hey,
A double kill for Yatoro. They get the catch onto BZM. They'll keep the game alive again. It's another hold. It's another triple kill for Yatoro. Tomato, put the rage on. Lal heads in. We'll get caught by the Hex, but no follow-up.
Yatoro's in.
I mean, collapsing the jump. They've managed to burst through the Kunkka immediately. Collapsing Yatoro, find BZM, and he's out of the fight as soon as it starts.
Oh, this is so awkward. They're trapped in the corner.
I mean, what do they do? Does he buy back? There he is. BZM's going to buy back for this one. There's the jump in the backwards, but Ari's got the Axe Fiend script. He's controlling the storm for now, but it's...
Yatoro.
Lal doesn't really care. He's perfectly able to zip over to the safety of the left side of the fight. Yatoro, though, will go down.
They stuck on him.
Now, the question is if Yatoro wants to buy back. Does he want to try and turn their efforts in this fight, try and get it back their way as Lal's getting run down by Whisper? Lal still with not a lot of mana to play. It looks like Spirit are just going to try and write this fight off. Miposhka will turn with a stop, but the Hex is there in time. OG, they're going to be able to take down the ET as well. See what they can get away with. Tomato in with the Rage, working on the tier 3. Safety of the X-Mark drag back. Will still get caught by a stomp collapse. He's taking it back over, but he gets caught by the Hex. Lars in with the BKB. Whisper,
Where'd he go?
in an instant. He's gone. He'll buy back. The feed script's there on the Lar, but it's not enough time to lock him down and finish him off. He'll still get caught by the X-Mark, though, and he's
But Tomato,
dead.
oh my God,
They get it to clean up. 3 dead on Spirit. They have to use the buybacks. Yatoro's back in. Miposhka's back in. Mirror's back in. The silence down onto BZM. They're going to try and take him down twice, though. Still has this Aegis, of course. The Spear will get him.
Holy shit, everyone's just dying in an instant.
I mean, can they keep BZM safe on the second round? Tomato and Ari heading up. They'll use the sleep to try and protect BZM from any sort of combat that's thrown down. And if they turn towards collapse, they get him with a Hex. The drag back there for the vortex.
Big damage.
They've killed on Whisper. It's a die back on the Timber Saw. Lal turns over towards BZM. He's in on top of him. BZM trying to run up towards the high ground. Yatoro finds the Lucid Beam to finish
Tomato's
him off.
alone.
It's a double kill. Tomato caught by the Hex. Spirit, they clean it up. And once again, for OG, pushing the high ground has gone horribly, horribly wrong.
They're kryptonite, the high ground.
But Malrine, he wants to play aggressive. Arrow will miss.
Rolling Thunder.
Chuen denied regeneration rune.
Still on this Razor with a lot of damage now with Amar arriving. And that Rolling Thunder ending. Curse Crown is there. Amar with crit still going to get on top of Jokam for a double kill on your Viper. Now Ponyo, very isolated, left out on an island. Not much Akashi can do here. Level 5, 10 minutes in, so not even a defensive chrono available here for Akashi. As the Moonlight Shadow is going to allow Falcons here to close the gap onto Ponyo.
They really want that level 4 maiden, huh?
Get it.
Big chunk of money. 221 for Malrine.
Yeah, we've seen these games, though, where some teams only get support kills, right? Just killing off a position 5 over and over again. At least Talon are finding core kills, important ones to try and buy them time to get into late game. And good attempted move by Chuen there to get to high ground, but now he's stuck on low ground, moving and turning around on the snaking. Dragonite in, and with that breakdown on Timbersaw, tons of magic damage comes his way. WS and Jokam both fall. Amar with a double kill. And is that the Crystal Maiden trying to scurry away with a couple of 100 health? Well, they don't see her. Instead, turning their eyes and targets onto the Faceless Void to bring him down, and a triple kill. Yeah, I think at this point, Talon needs King Jenkins and his entire round table to come in on their Knights and Lancers to try and hold back the Falcons here. Viper on the front lines, holding them back as Skitter will get away from the Chakram damage. Malrine moves forward with a jump in, Rolling Thunder. There's a Freezing Field and a Chrono there onto Malrine. They're going to get the kill on the Pango. Down he goes. 2,000 gold into the hands of Talon. And Akashi moving forward.
I think Malrine is going to buy back. I think he's going to buy back and they want to end the game.
Rage buy, let's go. When Chrono's down, what else is going to stop him? Skitter still just beating at buildings. Amar, the real carry in this one, going to stand up on the front lines and hold them all back. Chuen with his BKB, trying to chase into the Viper here. Ooh, dodges the Terrorizer, looks like, with the Manda style. Skitter holding the ground, but the Viper's going to fall. Talon fighting back. They get the takedown on 1, 2 cores, now a third. Aegis gone. Crit the snaking, trying to turn back. Malrine did buy back. You're right, with the Rolling Thunder back in onto the Faceless Void. They're going to get on top of Akashi. Can he try and walk away from this? Does he have the protection? No,
that Rolling Thunder.
Far too good with the arrow over the top of it. Ponyo now in trouble as well, but WS and Chuen are still going. Snaking has that leap to get a bit of distance up Malrine and Crit. Turn back around. They've got the firepower here to bring down Chuen. Buybacks ready on the Razor. No Faceless Void and no Dark Willow now, though.
Didn't get much done in the last couple of fights.
Nice vision. Joe Cam, he can find the hoodwink. Oh, but hang on, that glide there holds him back. Malrine breaks away from the static link, turns onto the Tiny, and the Doom is there onto the Zeus in the back lines. Akashi has to sing the song, try and buy time for the rest of the team to get away from the Doom, but look at Amar, he's going wild, he's unleashed the beast onto the Zeus, taking him down, and now the rest of the team can come and help him. Snaking with the bubble, saves the Doom, the turn on the Nagastar, and brings Akashi down to the ground, and Chantra's in trouble as well, and Falcons pummel Talon, absolutely annihilate them. Yeah, it's really a possibility right now. Glide here onto this Razor. Might have to BKB, a good amount of damage and control on the Weaver, pops the Aegis immediately. Sharpshooter's coming, trying to aim it in onto WS. They've lost Snaking, crit nearly falls, but Amar and Skit are going to work in the actual fight proper, killing off the Razor. Joe Cam, Ponyo, Akashi is now turning tail and running, but the Gleipnir once again cuts them off, holds them in place to find the 2 support kills that the Falcons will gladly take. Team Falcons, there's a tier 2 standing top, so they can't go for the full megas or anything like that. But Skitter will get himself down to low ground. Look at this Tiny. Crit gonna scurry away, but blasted by the Zeus. Good pick by Chuen. Akashi, though, the one in trouble. Naga down with buyback available. Might have to come back into the fight because WS is in serious trouble. Draining damage from Amar, but Malrine stands his ground and takes him down. The Doom and 2 supports and Falcons are gone, but Skitter and Malrine offer a lot of damage and still stay reasonably tanky. Tiny out for 50, and Chuen gonna have to try and heavenly jump back to Mount Olympus.
Malrine is zoning.
This is not where you belong, Zeus. No matter how many family members you've got, looks like they're all dead at this point. The illusions of the Dragon Knight will kill him off, and he's dead for 70 now.
Very mobile carry player.
All right, Tower finally does die. Coil onto 2 as the Axe makes his rotation over, but Quinn taking a ton of damage. Whisper gets off the primal split. A dead Leshrac again. Seb will be the trade for now. Now Ace on the run. Illusory Orb clips 2. Tomato even makes his way over as well as Ace trying to get up the call, but not going to find anyone. Ends up dying to Rachio with a timed... Okay. Time-lapse did go off, but now the Chronosphere comes in, getting all 3 teammates in the area.
Result here with the phase. Brewmaster.
Do they have the damage? Primal split does go off. And Whisper, oh man, the Pulse Nova is ripping right through him. Still sticking around though. Gets one more stun with the Urk Panda as Tomato comes in. Time dilation as well. More TPs coming in. Ace is ready, but the Chronosphere comes out. They have the damage to actually kill off the Lash. It's going to be close. Tomato has the Tomahawk away, but they do get the kill first as BZM gets basically soloed by Ace. And now Tofu in the midst of a TP, but gets right-clicked into Oblivion. I mean, if you think of one Axe, I mean, I feel like it is Seb, though, right? Surely. Ace.
All right, here we go again.
Call comes in, dead shot though, but the Split Earth is there to layer, and the chop. Actually, I couldn't tell if the chop was completely successful or not. Either way, the kill goes the way of Gaiman again. Ari now flame broken and lassoed, looking for the call. Oh yeah, that feels good. Can just.
It's gonna do more than that, huh? I know the dead shot clipped Duracho in the end, but I'm surprised he didn't do more of a dent into Tomato there with the items that he has.
Yep, dead shot.
Ace.
Now on to Ace.
It's tanky.
Already at half HP is Tomato closing the gap. Has the Chrono, of course, will use it. The rest of his team will walk into it as they do.
Awkward.
Very poorly played there as Ace now calls, looking for a potential chop, but Tomato time walks away. And Ace was using the Bloodstone there. The coil's going to snap, and he's still very tanky, but eventually OG gets what they came for. Tomato, though, lassoed and soloed essentially by Tofu. Seb's gonna get the Nightmare Celery, takes it off instantly. Tofu making his way over as well as BZM coming to the party. Jingu is gonna connect, but the RP onto 3 heroes. Block grenade onto 3 heroes as well, even more important. Seb gets taken out first by Quinn though, glimpse out onto him. Gets another Jingu stack, but he falls in the end. 2 for 2. Lots of action early on as Duracho, basically a creep at this level of the game, showing up, tickling everyone. They're laughing their way to the farm as Tofu gets skewered by Whisper, and now Duracho tried to help his team, but he's just gonna die again. Can he deny himself on the creeps? No!
All right, that was unnecessarily rude to Duracho, because again, this is honestly, okay, hang on.
Yeah, hold your horses.
Whisper has no time for
all right, puts
Ace
on the cliff. Very classic stuff. And the Static Storm now applied to several heroes. You can see Quinn just trying to brush it off. He's going to get snowballed, which actually cancels the grip. And Quinn gets off his Wukong's command. Whisper getting really low, but Nightmare to save him just a little bit. Another skewer, almost clipping all of them. But the damage is enough either way for OG. Ace still stuck up there, that fat, juicy watermelon. Finally, Whisper's reign comes to an end via Duracio's right click. Somehow he does enough damage to kill something other than a creep. It's incredible, in fact, as Ace. This will take a while, but Tomato and company will claim the watermelon. Feels like it's more than that.
OG trying to beat that record in this one.
Yeah, for sure. BZM, all right. Oh my God.
Beautiful.
RP onto 3 heroes. Waveform completely misses. Ravage to follow from Ace, though, actually doing a lot of damage. They're going to be able to take out Whisper and the Bane. As you can see, 4 heroes very low for Gaming Gladiators. They try to run away. The Magnetize gets 1, make it 2. And BZM and company able to eventually clean up. It was looking a bit hairy for them, but this net worth lead is no joke. Ace stuck inside the kinetic field. Triple kill for Tomato.
Okay, he's in there.
He wants to go
really
very
in there.
deep. My goodness, gets off the Magnetize, already at half HP. RP comes in, hitting several heroes with the skewer into the Static Storm. And the Waveform finishes them off in style. It's going to cost them the life of the Magnus, but that is well worth it. That was a disgusting combo. As Tomato gonna farm the sniper and get the rampage in the fountain. Oh my goodness, this really does feel like a pub.
Checking out these Ancients, blocking out some camps, getting some info. Double warded, actually.
Oh, smoke on smoke here. Liquid, they're gonna make the jump first on towards Crit.
Nice static.
Make sure that there's no further backup to help Crit out in that initial jump.
Nisha?
Falcons might still have a chance of a fight, though, because they've got the spear connection and the Laguna. They'll burst straight through Nisha and through Boxy. 33 still left on his own end. Trapped in the arena. He'll try and run away from this all.
You can see me plate, and I am joined by Wax. And Wax in game 1 was a battle. What is game 2 going to be?
Game 2 is gonna be the continuation of the war. You know, you won the battle, but did you win the war? That's what Estar Backs is gonna come in asking beastcoast, and oh wow, they are just gonna stick to what kind of worked for them, I suppose, right? But they stole the Enchantress, so that's gonna be really good. Moose did a lot of good work, especially in the last couple of team fights with his Ench. So now Estar Backs will have it for their side, but I gotta ask you, letting the Disruptor through? I don't know about that one.
Disruptor has an awful win rate in the tournament, actually. It's like 33%, I think. Yeah, cyberscore.com. Check out our sponsor. Thank you so much, cyberscore.com, for sponsoring us. If you want any Dota information about this series or other ones happening concurrently, you can check them out. And yeah, 27 times it has appeared, and it's only won 9 games. It has won less than 10.
I mean, I still think Disruptor is probably the second most broken hero, maybe third most broken hero in the current
Wait,
patch.
what are the first two?
Chen and Shadow Demon.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, Chen, Shadow Demon, and then Disruptor. Definitely in the support side, but impressive that the teams in EPL Americas have found a way of countering him like perpetually. He's really good versus DK, right? We know DK loves being a Manta style, and the glimpse breaks the illusion instantly, and it's not even the longest cooldown, like 18-second cooldown, I believe, 4 points in glimpse. So Beast Coast still slightly surprised by the Enchantress Steel pick, and now they're taking a lot of reserve time to decide what their second and third will be.
This was basically all of their reserve time. I think they were really banking on this Enchantress, but Disruptor is okay against Enchantress. It's fine, but like you can't use all your reserve time because somebody picked Enchantress.
And they will respond with a tiny Zeus, a lot of magical damage to break down through this Enchantress, right? She's really good versus physical damage, but the magic will come through. And we've got two of the Thunder bosses, the Zeus and the Disruptor, respectively. What's next for them? Razor hasn't been banned yet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, very good versus Ancient Dragon Knight as well. But Estar Backs, now you know that Zeus is here, right? Zeus will be played mid. do you flex your Dragon Knight to the off lane and go for something else mid later on, especially because you have the overall last pick?
I think that's definitely something that you can go for. I would be surprised if Estar Backs lane DK into Zeus. It's like not DK just can't put any pressure on Zeus, and Zeus will just have the freest lane of his life.
Yeah.
But like, you know, Estar Backs now, I wouldn't be surprised if they take some time here for their draft. I know I was criticizing beastcoast for using all of their reserve time on those 2 picks. Tiny Zeus doesn't look like the kind of combo that I would be like, wow, you used 2 minutes of reserve time on these 2 heroes? That was worth it. It's like, okay, I guess the decision might have been, what else do we do if we don't pick Zeus now? It's going to get... You don't want to... Maybe you don't want to pick it later? Rubik coming out?
And the Mars. And I love this for several reasons. Obviously, now you have the Tiny. Tiny can work very good with Centaur, which is one of the heroes that sometimes gets banned, sometimes gets picked, and sometimes ignored in EPL, whereas most Tier 1 teams really contest the Centaur. Centaur Tiny, very good combo, but now, with the Mars arena, you stampede, but you can get outside of the arena, of course. And then the Rubik has the capabilities of stealing some of these really good AoE spells from the Tiny, the Zeus, the Disruptor, or even the Glimpse, right?
Yeah.
Similar thing. So Beast Coast now has 15 seconds to decide, do we want to commit to the Centaur, or is he getting maybe considerably too countered by the last few picks from Estar Backs?
Yeah, it's hard to tell, and they're going to go with the Sven instead. You know,
They needed more time.
The problem is, Sven is another hero that gets picked up a lot.
Okay.
And I think it's been picked 9 times. And it also has a 33% win rate.
10 seconds remaining.
So they have Disruptor, Sven, who both have 33% win rates.
Radiant team ban.
It's not the best thing to go off of. I know you have to look at more than stats. Like, you have to take the draft into account, but this isn't striking me as a particularly good Sven game, and it's also not striking me as a particularly good Disruptor game.
10 seconds remaining.
So maybe Estar Backs here are just going to keep doing what they're doing. I mean, you can tell they love Christmas. They got the green heroes, they got the red heroes.
I mean, it's a bit early for that one, my friend, as I
think
some religions are still waiting to celebrate their Easter.
Yeah.
With that being, I'm going to say Mars into Disruptor. I don't like this at all. And even the Tiny, right? Tiny can just toss you or a teammate away outside of the arena, and you hop in with the arena, and even if you catch the Disruptor but you don't connect the Spear of Mars instantly, the Static Storm will be there, so whoever is trapped inside the arena is also going to be a bit isolated or forced to disengage. Whereas this Sven, I agree with you on the many points that you brought up. I don't think this Sven is currently in the best spots. I see him as a tier 2 hero. There was stuff like the Void, stuff like the Weaver still in the pool that I really value a lot more. And the Luna. Blake, where is the Luna? This is arguably the strongest carry in the current meta, and neither of these two teams have contested it at all, game 1 or up until this point.
It would have been a beautiful hero to pick up in this draft, I think, for Beast Coast above the Sven. I don't know why they decided to go for Sven over Luna. Like, they basically do the same thing, but Luna's just better. We're just at that point now. I think everybody's decided, you know what, Luna's a very good hero. Sven gets kited a little bit too easily, and Starbacks had that kiting potential. I mean, you get hit by the DK slow from level 18 Dragon Knight ult once, and you're like crying the whole fight. You can't close the gap on anybody. You might be able to get tossed in, or when you buy the Egg Interceptor on Sven, which is going to take a while, maybe you can start closing the gap then, but it doesn't strike me as like, oh man, this is such a good Sven game. It's like we got to pick Sven because we don't have any reserve time left.
Banning out the Visage and the Brewmaster from Estar Backs, and both teams with 8 and 9 seconds respectively of reserve. Beast Coast need to get something to compose themselves. They banned the Medusa, and I think they should ban the Luna, because Luna looks really good for the Radiant as well, but they're going to ban the Monkey King, and they will go for the Tide Hunter. Okay. I kind of like that. Not the Centaur, but the Tide. That's pretty good.
Watermelon Man, there's no obvious Silver Edge buyers on Estar Backs. I mean, Dragon Knight we could see, instead of the Orchid build-up, go into a Silver Edge instead for the break on the Tide, and maybe that's going to be the play there. I mean, break good against Sven as well, but I think early on, nobody's really going to do a great job, and the problem is you kind of have to pick up a ranged carry now. A Tide Razor could be an option. 0 seconds left.
Okay, Troll Warlord. This is a bit of a throwback again. Troll and Sven find themselves in a similar situation with in the meta, but Troll can switch to range, of course, and can survive a bit of this burst damage that will come in from Beast Coast. But that's if it's not chained up, right? If you get chain stun, you don't have a BKB, you don't have a way of dispelling yourself early on. So Gym Park could be in trouble. Does have the Rubik to reposition himself, the Mars to separate the team fight. Again, I think both teams quite happy with the drafts. But what about you? Are you happy with the drafts? Do you favor someone slightly or considerably more than the other?
I gotta say, I think the draft is gonna. I think this draft is gonna come down to the offlane for both teams. It feels like this is that offlane meta that I keep talking about every single draft. I'm like, guys, this meta is about the offlane. This meta is about the offlane. And when I think about heroes that can really apply pressure on the map, Tidehunter can, but you have to play around Ravage. Mars has that ultimate, so he'll be able to be more effective. You catch a Zeus in your ultimate, you catch a Sven in the ultimate, it's going to be so much harder for Beast Coast to survive those engagements. Whereas, I mean, Tidehunter, yeah, he's going to pop his Ravage. It's probably going to hit 3 or 4 heroes, but then you're useless for like 2 minutes. And I think that reason alone, I'm kind of favoring Estar Backs into the draft, but Beast Coast, they showed us that they can dominate the lanes.
They would like to do the same in this game number 2 to get themselves a secured top 3 as we hop in straight to a classic pause. But let's take a quick look at the rosters, and we've got for Beast Coast, Pyke on the Sven, Moose on the Disruptor position 5, Lumpy the mid Zeus, El Micho on the position 4, Tiny and Vitali on the Tidehunter. The first time I see him this tournament run this hero. Plate, you can take us through the Estar Backs one.
Yeah, of course. You got Mars on this, or I mean, Mars on Illic. I mean, Illic on Mars, whatever way you look at it. Of course, Enchantress being played by Prada. Then you have Dark Mago on this Dragon Knight. Matthew, as played by Rubik, or Rubik as played by Matthew. And of course, last but not least, you got Gym Park, the biggest troll and the warlord of trolls in this game. And Waxen, this is going to be one of those games, one of those situations, I think, where it really, really comes down to lanes.
Yeah, I think this is a great point. And obviously the rotations will be very important at minute 4 and 6 from the supports. Tiny loves rotating, so does Enchantress. Disruptor maybe not so much. Rubik, similar situation, but Rubik can be a bit more movie on the map compared to Disruptor. So I think that's going to be crucial to give an early advantage to either the Zeus or the Dragon Knight, as that lane will be very interesting, but I think DK with a couple of points in Dragon Blood will be fine.
Yeah, I think so too. And one thing we didn't talk about is how good of a laner Troll Warlord is. I mean, he just does not care about really anything the offlaner does. He's just going to keep hitting you over and over and over again. He can get the harass and the last hits with the whirling axes and just cause so much damage to you as well. And with the range option, he won't really get hit by the Anchor Smash from the Tide. I did say that he needed a ranged hero, and they kind of got one. But they got both, right?
Yeah, it's a 2-in-1.
Yeah.
Like a proper package going in. And now still a few heroes smoked up for Estar Backs, but it will run out in a second. The only potential is El Micho here, who has a tree grab. Trying to maybe find the right spot to place his sentry to block the camp. But look at Gym Park heading that his way. Already a few pings flying in. I think this Tiny will be fine. El Micho, strangely enough, hasn't grabbed the tree at all.
He's kind of in a no man's land right now. Gym Park knows he's here. Oh, grabs the tree.
Lol.
He makes his own path.
He also blocked the other bottom down south camp. Very interesting, as we have the Bounty Rune spawning in a second. Matthew does not have the telekinesis, so Vitaly will secure one Pike with the second. It's going to be a 2-for-2 easy trade, but Vitaly is actually getting quite a lot of damage now. The extra slow kind of coming from Jim Park, and Vitaly, he might just be in trouble. The Fate Bolt will come in, and the Tide Hunter might fall. Yes, he will. One more right click should do the job. First blood to the Troll Warlord.
That's basically worst case scenario. Moose, I think he's odd here. No, he's fine.
Moose would have loved to have the glimpse there to just send Prada down back into the triangle of his side, but had scaled Thunderstrike to deal some chip damage at the rune.
Little bit of damage coming under. Gods are big as well on the Mars.
Oh, stun flaying in. Prada, Blood Grenade, and I think he's just about to die. One more right-click Fairy Fire, buying himself some more time, but Pike will get in range with that massive spade. And it's gonna be in the end a 1-for-1, but still, first blood going in the favor of Radiant.
Yeah, Estar Backs looking to get that, continue that first blood momentum, but I mean, this seems like a pretty annoying lane to deal with. You have Disruptor just gonna keep Thunderstriking you. He's got the clarity as well in his inventory, and Pike, I mean, Stormhammer can contribute to that every time. He's actually gonna put the point in cleave as well, so it's gonna be the push-pull lane here. You're just gonna keep pushing the wave with the cleave and then stack wall camp and pull it.
Yeah, Pike feels very safe on this lane, as he doesn't need Warcry versus an Enchantress Mars that are very low level. If he will get too pressured later on, he will pop it. But for now, this is gonna be a really good lane for Beast Coast. Meanwhile, in mid, Zeus, Dragon Knight. None of them should have any kill potential unless someone makes a mistake, but Dark Mago is doing very good at trying to zone Lumpy away.
This is not a lane where we're talking about people killing each other. This is a lane where we're talking about zoning. And I mean, Lumpy, he's got the bottle finished up, so he's just gonna, again, continue to Arc Lightning the waves down, right click where you can, save some mana, and get some last hits going. It'll be pretty even in terms of CS for basically the whole time that these guys are mid. I mean, but the one difference, Zeus has no tower threat. Dark Mega, when he gets level 6, will be able to put pressure onto the tower and claim it for his own. There's nothing really Lumpy can do to the Dragon Knight in that regard. And, I mean, you can see the damage that Dark Mega took, but with no more mana, really, no more bottle charges, gonna be difficult for Lumpy to really put the pressure out.
Oh, a bit of a heavenly jump. Tanking a few tower hits from Lumpy. I don't think that's the direction he wanted to go. In the end, it will be fine. And I'm glad that we're looking down bottom, because when is the last time we saw a tiny troll that lane, right? A year and a half ago? 3 years ago? 5 years ago? Up top, you get a first blood as Moose. Ooh, great save from Pike with the Stormhammer to protect his Disruptor.
And Moose, you know, the problem with Disruptor is if you get gone on, it's very difficult to live. If you get caught out of position at any point, you will probably die. I think Moose is actually using the Warhammer set on the Disruptor. For any 40k fans out there.
Interesting. Very quiet early game, despite a few kills going in the first few minutes. And I gotta ask you, you said the laning phase matters a lot. So is that what you think we're just seeing less action? Or is it just because of the nature of the heroes?
No, I think it's just that both teams kind of recognize if they fall behind in a lane, the game gets put into such a big problem, and it could also come down to the heroes as well. I mean, Pike is not really going to look to get kills, and on the other side you have a Tide Hunter as well. So like, are you really going to kill a Tide? I mean, they're going to try.
I think they're trying now, yeah. He should be fine, as the Anchor Smash is gonna nullify a lot of the damage from
a Tide, you know what I mean? And just wait until he gets a Vlad's, then he's like actually unkillable for like quite a long time, and that's kind of just the reason why, that's a big reason why you do pick the Tide Hunter, is like, you don't really care about who the other laner is 90% of the time.
I think this minute 6 is gonna be really important if the supports will decide to go and fight for the power rune, right? As Lumpy is actually getting pushed away, has to go and get his bounty rune to refill his bottle. Quite interesting to see Dark Mago back-to-back games on this Dragon Knight.
I mean, I couldn't do it. I find it boring when I play the same hero twice in a
Fair
row.
enough. Fair enough.
They were confident with his play last game. I feel like it was a pretty good hero. I didn't think it had any negative impact, so glad that they
No, of course not,
went for it again.
Oh, Courier maybe? Elmisho, can he kill? No, he's not even going to try for the Courier down bottom. As Matthew just right-clicks away this Tiny in mid. This is where the action is starting to, about to happen, as Prada's already commenced his rotation with a Warpine Rider coming through the top lane. 30 seconds until minute 6. Okay, is anyone else gonna go there? No, it's a TP down bottom from Moose. They want to get this pick off on the Troll Warlord, and he's getting very low HP. The burst damage coming from the Avalanche Toss combo, and the Troll will fall. We thought it's gonna be minute 6 action, and that's what beastcoast realized. The supports might leave the lane to go support mid, so let's punish the carry.
I mean, he had the 10 stick, but wasn't strong enough, and now they're gonna make a rotation on the Lumpy with the Pine Raider and behind the tier 1 tower.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Misha will come in to deter this push, but they're going behind the tower as Matthew's coming in with a wraparound, but we have a TP from the Disruptor. One right click to the DK, and now he will tank a few tower hits. Moose has a glimpse, but outside the range is going to connect. Kinetic Field perfectly landing. Avalanche and the Zeus with the Thunder God's Wrath. One more right click will do it. Dark Mago falls, and Matthew has to run away.
This rotation from these Beast Coast supports are just enabling so much of the map right now. I would love to see Estar Backs maybe punish one of these cores that are solo in the off lane or the safe lane, but the problem is the waves are pushed out, right? You have a Tide who pushes out waves with the Anchor Smash, and you have Sven who pushes out waves with Cleave, so it's not like you can really make a kill onto one of these heroes without diving, and you know there's going to be an answer.
I love the reappearance, I guess, the slow reintroduction of Tidehunter to competitive Dota. He was out of action for quite a long time, but we see him getting played a bit more.
Yep.
As we have the Thunder, actually God Strength popped up top. Speaking about pushing the lane in Pyke, just doing that to a perfection. As the Wisdom Runes will also get traded. So pretty favorable for Estar Backs, who is slowly starting to fall behind. Not losing your Wisdom Room is going to be very important for them.
Well, they have a ward. Beautiful ward, so they're going to see the fact that Sven, you know, pop the God Strength. He's going to be farming up these stacks. I don't know if Prada and Matthew have enough damage to kill him, so that maybe they're going to make a play mid, but Lumpy, if he can avoid this gank, it's going to put Beast Coast in a great spot.
Misho's quite far from the assist. He's in the triangle, so he has to go all the way through bottom. But Tomato just dies under the tower to one arc lightning. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice. Level 4 on this end. She's barely level 4. She's very under level. As Moose is almost 5, so doing much better on the Disruptor than the Enchantress is. Matthew level 4 as well. 5 for Elmisho's Tiny, so slight XP lead for the supports of Beast Coast.
It was even on the runes too.
Oh, Power Rune will be spawning off top. Matthew will pick up the haste. And both the Dragonite and Zeus will be sad, but I think that the Zeus suffers a bit more. With that being said, he has a full bottom, more or less, 2 charges. But look at Prada up top, alongside Matthew. They're getting some right clicks onto this Disruptor. The Glimpse will not protect him, as the Wormpine Rider deals quite a bit of damage with 100 Siege Shot plus the Fade Bolt. More than enough to kill the pesky support.
I don't like the fact that it's called Seed Shot.
Yeah, shall we talk about that or
no,
not?
I don't want to talk about the fact that it's called Seed Shot. I don't know. I don't want to get hit by that thing's seed, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay,
Do
so you're not a fan of seeds? Like, what? Of course, like sunflower seeds, right?
Yeah. Pinecone
That's
seeds.
definitely what it means.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pine comes anyway, but that joke was going somewhere else.
Pike, he doesn't have ult, he's gonna die here.
That's Gym Park, right?
Gym Park. It is Gym Park, you're correct.
He does have 1 extra point, but he just blows up. Ravage committed. They spotted another TP that was cancelled in the end. Double ultimates forced. I mean, you got the carry, but now this is gonna enable you 2 minutes. You can put pressure around the map, and look at Prada and Dark Mago already going for the tier 1. And it's gonna be a tier 1 for tier 1 trade, but tier 1 mid way more valuable than this bottom tier 1.
No, it's not even close here, and the discussion might be now, was that worth it for Beast Coast? I mean, yeah, you got the carry and you get this bottom tower, but I don't think Estar Backs were gonna try to contest you anyway. So like, maybe it was just better to force Jim Park out of the lane, keep the ultimates going, and then maybe rotate mid with the threat of the ultimates, and then take mid
I think
yourself.
they could have also killed him without using both of them, right? Oh, up top, look at the beautiful Hurricane coming in from the Wild Wing, but Pike will just throw in the stun to run away. Prada doing a really good job on this Ench despite being only level 6, only level 5 currently, but look at the smoke up. We've got Il Michio, level 6 as well. Gotta throw in the Avalanche, toss onto the Zeus. The Rubik is gonna die, but beautiful telekinesis, Heavenly God, up onto the high ground, killing spree for Lumpy, and now they want to continue going up top to see if they can kill this shielded rune Dark Mago.
They have a glimpse.
Ooh, the Disruptor gonna show himself up a bit too early. The God Strength will expire, but the Arena from Mars keeping the Tidehunter away, but Illich is getting lower and lower in HP, and in the end, Disruptor will fall first, but the offlane will follow. It's a 1-for-1, and Dark Mago 1 versus 4. Shield Rune expires, and he's not tanky enough, but he's buying a lot more time. Prada coming in, tries to maybe slow them with the enchant. Matthew, beautiful Fade Bolt to lower some of the damage, but he's still gonna die to a couple more nukes flying in from the Zeus. Telekinesis again separating Lumpy from Dark Mago, but the final Stormhammer will connect as we have Prada body blocked by Vitali in South River. Toss, one more right click will do it despite Matthew's best efforts and plate. It's the XP advantage on the side of Beast Coast that we see right now. The supports, the offlane, they just have more spells because they are higher levels.
I mean, I think that fight, again, Estar Backs take that fight because they know there's no Ravage, they know there's no Thunder God's Wrath, and it just didn't matter. Like, they didn't commit, as much as they could have. Maybe you can bring Jim Park up, he's got the battle trance going, you know, maybe turn a fight around when you use the Mars ultimate, but Mars ulti was used and it just didn't matter, and now he's gonna get dogs.
Good glimpse, and Mars will pay with his life yet again, but no, we have to jump in the back like Dark Mago is gonna commit, but Ravage, Thunder God's Wrath, and 1, 2, 3, Illich still surviving for a while longer with the Seeds of Serenity, but the Heavenly Jump is gonna jump on top of it, and now Dark Mago didn't manage to do Duma work in the back line, and the supports are trying to help him, but he does get glimpse back, and the Static Storm will follow through. There's so much damage coming in from every single magic spell on the side of the Dire.
And they have Phylactery as well on the Lumpy that I think they finished after. Must have finished that in that last fight. I mean, I know you're DK, you think you're strong, you just blink in, but you don't have any way of protecting yourself from magic damage, and this Zeus is owning you, dude. You need a Mage Slayer on this DK, I think. A BKB could help, but I actually think a Mage Slayer first. You need to be able to negate the magic damage coming out from Zeus.
And you need some damage to come in from your supports. Finally, we have level 6 on Matthew. By the way, look how funny this Rubik looks with a tree in his hand. Tree grab on the Rubik is absolutely stunning. That's gonna be gone in a second as he gets a better spell. All this time, Jim Park has been farming, and he is very close to getting his Battle Fury, but he is the only one currently breaking into the top 3 net worth of Radiant side and trailing around 2k gold of Pike's Sven, who is so big. Level 12, almost 13 already.
It's almost like your hero will farm slower if the enemy carry has a built-in better Battle Fury than you.
Yeah, true.
Who would have thought?
He is 700 XPM right now on this Ven at minute 14. This is unbelievable. Look, he's even pinging the Wisdom Room. He wants to get it himself.
I think Pike just knows how big he is right now. Estar Backs, I don't know what angle they can go for, because I mean, East Coast better team fight, right? You have the Ravage, you also have Thunder God's Wrath, so you're gonna have a vision advantage every single fight. You're just gonna pop Thunder God's Wrath first, give Tide the information he needs to make the call on when to Ravage at the beginning of the fight, and with Disruptor as well.
They're desperate for the Blink Dagger on the Mars, right?
Yeah.
And like you said, with the Disruptor, he's gonna have the Blink, he's gonna jump in, but he needs to connect to Moose, otherwise he just turns the fight around with the Static Storm.
Yeah. This Disruptor has not... He's only died twice, but you need to kill him more. And Lumpy is another target you need to kill more. He is 5-0-3. Dark Mego, he's going to be the target of this gank here. And I don't care how tanky you are on GK, you're not living for this.
I think the Mage Slayer might have protected him a bit longer but for the team to join him, but they don't care. They're gonna let him die. Pike pops the God Strength, know that they can easily secure the tier 1. And the Fortify being used for a tier 1 tower means that beastcoast could go for a tier 2 if they want. They're using the Thunder God's Wrath to check if they're getting set up on, and they're not, so I think they might just be going. Yeah, they're gonna rotate bottom, pinging the creep wave and the tower, so the tier 2 will fall most certainly. Thunder God's Wrath for another 12 seconds or so, and no more Fortifies for the Radiant.
I mean, this is unless the Estar Backs want to take this fight bottom, but again, you're fighting into Ravage. There's no God Strength on Pike. I think Beast Coast are gonna be wiser than this. They're gonna decide, you know what, maybe this is a little too aggressive.
Look at El Misho. He's got the Blink Dagger before the Mars. The Mars doesn't even want to get the Blink Dagger anymore. Realize he needs a BKB, so he is 1,000 gold away from getting that BKB. But that means you don't have a way of jumping in with your big AoE spell.
Yeah.
You only have the Blink Dragon Tail from the DK.
And I mean, El Misho just, oh, nice Pine Cone Scout.
Quite a bit of damage, but the Avalanche will make the separation needed. And look at Vitaly coming in. Vladimir Vale. Right click, anchor smash, and a glimpse on the Dragon Knight into the Static Storm. Someone protect your Dragon Knight. Hello, where are your supports? Ravage gonna come in, and it doesn't matter. Gonna connect onto 3. Prada bursted by the Phylactery. Lower and lower in HP, but can anyone else escape? The Rubik will not. Prada is trying his bet, but the stun will come in a second. So will the glimpse under the Observer Ward, and it's a 3-for-none. As Estar Backs is slowly fading in this lower bracket semifinal.
It's just coming down to these Ravages, man. Vitaly, I guess we know how to give him a little bit more impact. Just pick him tight and let him Ravage.
Yeah, run in. Doesn't even have a blink, just walked up to them and ravaged 3 people.
He's so close to getting Shiva's Guard as well. I mean, this is going to amplify the damage of Beast Coast by so much.
So close. Well, 2,000 gold. That's quite a long way off for a Tide that doesn't have any farm because the Sven is taking everything. But they spot El Misho and Arena will connect. Nice Spear of Mars. The Lightning Bolt misses, and the Tiny will fall most certainly. Okay, in the end, does fall to Illich, who still doesn't have a BKB or a blink. Should have enough money to purchase the Blacking Bar in about 300 gold.
I mean, is BKB really enough? I mean, like...
No. Just no.
It's a good start. It's a start.
I mean, he's not gonna... Like, he can use it to run away, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like they need that burst, either catch or burst damage, that they don't have from anyone. Like, who's gonna do that currently? A Battle Fury Troll? A Blink Dagger Yasha Dragon Knight? It's very, very hard. We don't even have a single impetus point for Prada's Enchantress.
And the thing is, you're going for the Battle Fury build because you want to farm up a little bit more, but like, building physical damage into a Sven is always not great because, I mean, he just has Warcry, right? It's such a good spell. It's 15 bonus armor for your whole team, basically.
And they have an amplified damage in the river. This is an absolute disaster. Pike is gonna take it. He's gonna unite with his team under smoke. 20 seconds till Ravage, but I don't really think you care. They're just strolling. They're marching through the river right now.
And the target is Jim Park. They know that somebody went onto the low ground. They have glimpse. Oh, they just need vision. They got it.
Gonna toss him up, no Static Storm just yet, and now they're gonna come in, but the Telekinesis buying Jim Park a bit more time in the end. Might have enough chance to pop the ultimate, doesn't pop it! He was outside of the silence plate! Why did Jim Park not want to use it?
I'm not Jim Park. I don't know why you...
I thought you were. Sorry, my bad, it's not Jim Plate, it's Jim Park, of course.
What the heck? Yeah, dude, you should have known better, man. It is a Gym Plate. But, like, I don't know why you did, like, if I'm that guy, I'm just spamming Battle Trance. There's no point holding it. Like, just tell your team, hey, there's like 3 people on me. Can I get some help? And also, my ultimate is over. They have no way of kiting you.
Radiant's top tower.
Is the comeback condition here for Matthew to steal Ravage or Static Storm, or I guess both, right?
Yeah.
Still Ravage, keep it for 20 seconds, pop it, instant steal Static Storm, throw it on the opponents, because otherwise I don't know what the comeback potential is, or the comeback condition.
I'm not sure. Only 4 kills at 15 minutes is not enough, and Prada. He's the next person on the chopping block, my friend.
Fun fact, let me give you a little Romanian lesson, my friend.
Yeah.
Prada in Romanian kind of means bait.
That didn't feel like bait. That just felt like feeding. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, I know. It's just like, fun fact. Pyke, oh my goodness. If the Blink Dagger would have arrived like a split second early, Matthew would have just died.
They have vision on Jim Park. But Jim Park has that BKB finished up, so he'll be able to confidently use ult. The Thunder God's Wrath was for Dark Mago. Yeah. Good TP out.
He almost has his Manta style. But Manta's not going to do anything here. Like, look how big the cores on the side of Beast Coast are, right? They're just going to break the illusions in like a matter of half a second, maybe. But they're smoking up. They have a timing now. They could probably use this, although there's no blink on Illich. He's 300 gold short. Can they catch up to Vitaly? He also doesn't have a Blink Dagger, but he's very beefy. Has a Shiva's Guard and now gets spotted.
You need a break or something to be able to kill this guy.
I think they've got a damage, yes. Beautiful arena. BKB popped. Maybe a bit overzealous from Jim Park, afraid that someone else might have turned around the team fight. So we'll fully commit to kill Vitaly, and that's going to be quite a hefty chunk of gold swinging sides, about 1,000 going in the save to the side of Estar Backs.
But that is your 9-second BKB used on Jim Park, and nobody on Beast Coast was coming. I guess you don't know that, and you couldn't have known that, but it seems like it's a big overcommitment. Or it's a big commitment, maybe not overcommitment, but it's a huge commitment just to get a kill on a Tidehunter who still has Ravage. Well, the moment he comes back, I think Beast Coast are just going to group up as 5, push this bottom tower, go for Roche, and force the Estar Backs to make a play. And they don't have Arena, and they're not going to have Battle Trance either.
I mean, yeah, this is very punishing, but I think, like you said, they had 4 kills, and they really wanted to get something else on the board in the end. That's why they threw everything in the kitchen sink at getting that Tidehunter kill. And now Roshan will go... I assume Sven just picks it up right at this point, right?
Yeah.
He's so big, you don't want him to die.
I mean, it kind of sucks on Sven, because, you know, transformative hero needs the God Strength to be as effective as possible, but I don't think this game really matters. You could honestly give it to Zeus. I think Zeus is a bit of a better Aegis carrier than Sven is.
Yeah.
I prefer Aegis carriers that can use their mana as well as their health pool to be able to pump out damage and, you know, contribute to teamfights. Oh, Dark Mago.
They're setting up for him, and look at moves going down south, but that's going to be a great blink for Dark Mago. It's not going to get spotted. Thunder God's Wrath, too late.
If they used that Thunder God's Wrath earlier, they actually would have got him. The glimpse was he was within range of glimpse.
Okay. They did making space, right? 30 seconds of the Aegis have been used. Also, you gotta go back to what we were looking at earlier. Sven is closing in on 900 XP per minute.
Okay. Sven is
crazy.
level 19 at 23 minutes.
Yeah, he's gonna get level 20 before minute 25, if not sooner. This is insanity. I don't know how you stop this Sven. As Jim Park is kind of struggling to kill a single creep wave of Ancients up top. This is mental. Like, he's level 17, but again, where are his items? It's a Battle Fury BKB, and he'll have a Yasha now, but I feel like he's so far behind this Sven. It's going to be a really, really tough challenge for them to lock down this Sven and kill him now twice, because he has the Aegis.
I mean, kill him once, dude. Like, prove to me that you can kill this guy even one time. I don't think you can. I actually don't know why they gave the Aegis to this guy. He's not going to die one time.
Maybe they, Pyke likes overcommitting sometimes, and they're like, we're going to protect our this is our safety net. Illich managed to steal a shield rune from the top river, and Beast Coast is actually going to try to get a pick off as they spot the Mars. The Zeus is cutting the wave in mid as well. Prada gonna show himself most probably under the observer ward in a second. So they really want a kill here on the side of Beast Coast. Oh, beautiful sentry placed by Prada. The next level play. Who even puts a sentry down there? What? Okay, he's gonna pay with his life, probably. But I respect the work of the support.
You mean Prodally?
Hog.
Oh, hold on.
He's not TPing away. No.
Oh,
Believable. Prodally indeed.
Oh no, Mars though.
That's not gonna be a good look for Initius. Does have a BKB, could use it to TP away, and he will do just that. Pyke does not want to pop the God Strength. He would not have had the time to kill that Mars. And that's a 9-second BKB used on Illich, but at least they both managed to escape. And before Beast Coast collected the Aegis, they were 9k up, now 5 to 6k. So Estar Backs is splitting the map very well as the Glimpse, stolen from Matthew, will push back the Tide, but will allow this Sven to collect the kill.
Yeah, with the siege on the tier 2 tower coming to abreast, we're kind of feeling the pressure from Beast Coast now. I mean, 7,000 gold ahead. You look at the win probability, it's been firmly in the favor of them for, you know, the past like 10 minutes. And I mean, Estar Backs, they're doing everything they can to just farm on their Troll Warlord. But I mean, Jim Park, he's doing his best. He still is farming slower than Sven. So while Beast Coast are getting objectives and putting pressure on the map, Troll Warlord is barely keeping up. And by keeping up, I mean he's gonna get glimpsed back. Oh, pops the BKB actually.
That's an 8-second BKB. 2 back-to-back BKBs used by the core to disengage from fights. They're doing everything they can, but wasting these longer duration BKBs might end up being very painful later on, especially as they're playing versus a Tide, a Zeus, and a Disruptor.
Yeah, now...
Static Storm? No. Glimpse for Dark Mago. He doesn't have a BKB. Static Storm will come in. And yeah, that's what happens. You don't have a BKB. You can't do what the other two cores did to survive. He will get his 6th death for Dark Mago on the DK.
You were saying that it was, you know, you misspoke and said that it was Lumpy on the DK that you put on blast for not liking his performance. I mean, this time, what do you have to say about Mago's performance on DK in this game?
I manifested it.
Yeah.
Okay, they're just jumping in. El Misho comes in with the Avalanche. The toss will not be there in time as the Stormhammer connects to the arena. Will protect Matthew just a while longer. Stolen Avalanche. That is a lot of damage coming through onto the Tiny and the Sven. They're now tanking a bit of the tower hits and they're jumping in. Spear of Mars will not connect to anything, only pushing the Tide away. But they're managing to hold. The God Strength will run out and the Aegis will also run out. So Estar Backs only losing the DK and a couple of BKBs in the whole 5 minutes. Okay. And all of the outer towers.
Yeah.
But that is a loss you can take when you're playing at such a deficit.
I mean, it's a loss you kind of have to take. It's not like you have a choice. And again,
True.
Smoke up. Take a look at the last time Estar Backs got a kill.
It was the Mars Arena combo BKB of 9 seconds plus Battle Trance kill onto the Tidehunter, right? Yeah. But they're drawing on the map and they're drawing well. They might get in that angle as we actually have someone disconnected, sadly. Moose has something flying to him. Is that a Blink Dagger flying on the courier? No, it's not. This Disruptor is very underfarmed. It's only an Observer ward. Oh, Illich. The smoke breaks, gonna jump in, it's gonna be Vitaly, that's quite a beefy target. Yule Scepter in the air, Spear of Mars will connect, no Ravage just yet, but look at El Misho gonna come in and throw Yules, and now Avalanche, not just quite, as we have the Ravage and the turnaround from Pyke, doesn't even need the God Strength as the damage is coming in as a galore, but look at Jim Park, jumping in Battle Trance, he needs to lock onto a target, but even Moose is too speedy, and now the Glimmer Kick will finally keep him alive, and the Troll just dies! Now they're jumping again, Pyke will go for more, it's gonna be a double kill, look at the damage from the God Strength, Sven, Dark Mago, one more right click should do it, as Pyke is so speedy, so strong, and so massive on the Sven.
You can't see my facial expression, but the kind of opinion that I have is like, what else did you expect from a Estar Backs? I mean, you're going on troll on your target is Tidehunter. Name a worse target than Tidehunter to go on. You can't. He's the worst guy. He just popped the Ravage and then you had to back off. You had no vision for that fight. Unlike Beast Coast, who had this ward, So when the smoke started to break, they did see exactly who was there in the back lines. And I mean, I know you're trying to make a play, you're trying to make something happen, you're going to invade the enemy jungle, try to find the Sven, but when you fight Tidehunter, you just have to leave. You cannot go on that character when you're this far behind.
And again, there's no BKB on the Dragon Knight, and he's getting punished. He has the Aghanim Scepter, but not level 18, so that is also not the biggest, not the big and strong hero that we know Dragon Knight is in this current patch.
He's going for Orchid, man. Like, I know you did this the last game, but, I mean, this game, it's not going to have the same impact.
I mean, you're only going to shut down the Disruptor, right? Because we've got the Manta on the Zeus, we got the BKB on the Sven. Tide just dispels it naturally because of the Kraken Shell.
You need, I think you actually need BKB this game, or that Mage Slayer that we talked about before. Mage Slayer would be... Dude, you needed a Mage Slayer a long time ago.
20 minutes ago. Yeah, 20 minutes ago. It might just be too late for the Mage Slayer now. Also, I'm gonna interrupt you for a second, Plate. Sven, 976 XP per minute. Thunder God's Wrath for scouting. Do you think we're gonna get 1,000 XPM for Pyke before the game ends or no?
Oh, he's gonna hit it at some point for sure. I mean, he is farming like an absolute animal this game. He is 6,000 gold ahead of Jim Park.
Jesus, he's almost got a Satanic as well.
Yeah, he's literally a full item ahead of the enemy carry at 30 minutes. And we're talking about, like, BKB, Daedalus, Harpoon. He's got the Satanic finished up as well. I mean, he is going to go for the Swift Blink as well. And he's just going to start one-shotting heroes, I think, at this point. I mean, he is going to be hitting for how much damage is it? 180% extra bonus damage? He's going to be one-shotting people.
And now they're waiting for Roshan. Unlucky for beastcoast and very lucky for Estar Backs. It will be another 2 minutes until he spawns. So Pyke will not be double-lifed yet again. But let's look at this Zeus. We haven't spoken about him in a hot minute. Level 20 right now, has a BKB Octarine core. What BKB Zeus? He realizes he doesn't need to go for the full-blown Hurricane Pyke build as, I mean, not as a priority, right? He's got this Sven in the front line for now, so he doesn't need to be the damage dealer currently.
I hate the Zeus build. I think it's trash. That's my opinion.
Augers.
Yeah, I know. People are like, dude, but it's so good. It's so much damage. I'm like, dude, the reason why you draft Zeus is to deal damage. You don't need the Shard Manta style to do that.
Yeah, I love support Zeus because I want to support myself as Jim Park hates his life after this death, and they're chasing for more. Prada, 1, 2, 3, Avalanche in the air, which actually toss in the air. Wait a minute, can you hover over Tiny? He's got a freaking Hurricane Pyke on a support Tiny. Excuse me?
Yep.
When did he get it? Like 3-1 and 17? El Micho? Whoa. This Tiny's been involved in 20 out of 24 kills for his side.
Yeah, nobody else is even close. I mean, like... It's crazy that he just has a casual Wind Waker. He just straight up has a Wind Waker at 30 minutes on a Tiny.
Trying to scout Roche again. Let's see if El Micho will be patient enough. Not quite there yet. We're gonna have to wait 20 seconds, but he'll get out of the pit. Again, Estar Backs lives to see another chance of maybe contesting the Roshan, but I don't think that's even a good game plan, right? You go in the pit and you die to a Tidehunter Sven. I don't know, Plate. Do we believe in a... But no, we don't believe. Fair enough.
That was very easy. Okay, well, you know, the comeback potential, right? You got to hear me out on this one. We're cooking up some copium here because we're in full copium territory.
Okay, okay.
Your Dragon Knight blinks in, right, with that silence. Silences Disruptor before he gets any ultimates off. Then, you hope that the other 4 heroes on your team can burst Lumpy down before the fight starts, because he's causing so many issues. And then, you kite the Sven from that point on, and you kill the supports. So you kill Amisho, you kill Disruptor. Meanwhile, the whole time you're trying to dodge both the Sven, who's like literally a god, and Tidehunter, who you can't log down. And once you've...
Matthew? Poggers? up top. We've got a bit of an action here. They really wanted to kill Moose, but Moose turns around and then just gets the kill on Disruptor with the assist of the Zeus. And now Lilich will follow suit as he doesn't have the facilities to pop the BKB. The damage from Vitaly. See, I mean, there's a lot of theoretical stuff or dreamy stuff that you can hope for Estar Backs, but how are you going to stop this Sven who has also level 25? I know you were doing the maths previously. He now gets plus 50 God Strength damage, even more than the maths you were doing earlier, my friend.
I believe this is... He's going to be hitting for like 900 damage when he pops God Strength. So, you know... basically, what's gonna happen is when you get crit by Daedalus, you GG out.
Die. Yeah, you die. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, they found Jim Park.
They're going bottom. Jim Park spotted by Moose. He's gonna pop the battle trance to run faster. Oh my god.
Oh, I've never seen that before. I've never seen.
And look at Dark Mago. Oh my god, he also got caught, but because of the shield room, he was protected and manages to disengage. I've never seen that either.
That just tells you how badly this game is going for our Estar Backs. I mean, this is game 2. They need to win this game in order to stay in the tournament. Their whole tournament life is on the line. And it's like being plugged into the worst medical equipment you could ever imagine right now. The beeping is going slower and slower. They're losing their breath, and the Estar Backs, can they really stop this?
They're gonna try as the Static Storm comes in to separate the team fight. Doesn't connect to anyone, so a real mistake for Moose. Now Illich gonna connect Arena onto 4, and now the Tiny gets isolated in the backline. The Ravage is also gonna be wasted, but we forgot about the Wind Waker. Tiny finally falls, and now the damage gonna come in slow in overtime from the Black Dragon. But look at Pike, Hurricane Pike into them. It's actually a harpoon, my bad.
Yeah.
Vitality, lower and lower in HP. Illich with the Spear of Mars will connect onto the Disruptor, Sentry on the ground, and he will fall. Look at the impetus shot as well onto Lumpy, and they managed to hold.
Okay, hold on a second. Okay, so here, you want to know what Estar Backs did that fight?
They separated?
Yeah, well, I mean, yes, but they also got like a 5-man arena of blood. I think it was on to 4, but the Tiny Wind Wakered out of it. That'll help.
Yeah, the Tiny was isolated on the high ground, and that's why he got pursued. And Pike is still being chased on by Illich. I think Illich is slightly too overconfident right now. You won a team fight. You did not kill the Zeus or the Sven. But look at the Troll. He's coming in the back line, and the telekinesis from Matthew, and the Battle Trance is going to come in, but Lumpy with the PKB and the Hurricane Pike to run away, and Jim Park Battle Trances onto the Illusions. It's a 1-for-1, but you lost your offlaner, and look at the damage from Zeus. Such a far distance, and Jim Park, no more ultimate, no more BKB, thrown up in the air, does have the Satanic as Dark Mago gets a right click by Pike, and down south, Jim Park still has to be alive, pops the Satanic, but dies to the burst magic damage, and in the end, he will fall as Dark Mago, the only carry core on the side of Radiant, to get away with their life.
You know, I understand the process. You're like, we just won a team fight. You know, let's kill Beast Coast when they're all respawning. I don't know how you're gonna kill Sven twice. They tried to go into
Glimpse on Dark Mago! Glimpse on Dark Mago, it's just a Static Storm! The vision from the Thunderstrike is so much, and the Yule Scepter gonna come in that last moment to stop the TP out, toss him to the ground, into the cemetery. Yes, please finish your point, as Beast Coast is about to finish this game.
Yeah, my point is that this game is probably over. I mean, you look at the buyback situation on the side of Estar Backs. No core has buyback. They've just been trying to keep, buying items to stay in the game, but I think they're just going to try to stay in the game. One more team fight avails them, but their racks are being availed themselves. And Waxen, this is like that moment when you're like, we kind of messed up.
Yeah, definitely did.
Yeah.
Pike needed to be pressured way earlier on. He's in 11-0-6 as Sven. Even Lumpy, perfect score, 8-0-15. Maybe getting somehow to them to overcommit. Oh my god, he just pops the God Strength and now he's... Oh my god! Oh. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's a Rax. It's a bit tankier, so it will survive to... I think that was about 7 hits from Pike until it fell, but... single set of racks down bottom, standing between Beast Coast and Mega Creeps, and Estar Backs I don't even have the facilities necessary to defend versus Megas.
I mean, their facilities are being taken, Waxen. It's like you have no tower left to protect you. You have, on the side of Beast Coast, you have every advantage going your way. You can't get ratted. So you have tier 2s in the middle and bottom lanes. The only lane that they can rat is top.
Yeah. We also have a level 25 on the Zeus who's about to have an AoE mini stun with the lightning bolt in team fights. Oh my goodness. This Tiny also level 20 picked up a Dagon. We spoke about why Dagon is a great item versus the illusions of the Dragon Knight. Disruptor has his Aghanims and a level 20. Thunder God's Wrath is being used just for a bit of vision. This is basically game as Jim Park tries to TP away. El Michio blinking cooldown for a few seconds. So Jim Park will survive to see not another day, as this is probably the end of their tournament right now.
It's pretty close. It's as close can get. You see that smoke up, but you cannot go on Vitality. Literally don't go on anybody besides the Tidehunter. He is target that can't be killed. You need 5 heroes surrounding him, kiting him in order to be able to do that. I mean, 2,500 health, yeah, but that Kraken Shell so much, and maybe they're going to bait with Jim Park on this camp. They know that it's warded up on this high ground, but no, Beast Coast, they're smarter than that. They're just going to go smoke up bottom, put the pressure out onto these racks. They're going to use God Strength here, and like 2 seconds probably up. There it is, and now these racks are going to fall because the Estar Backs didn't stay in their base.
Melee falls, no more fortify, range will follow, mega creeps on the board as this Sven is amplified damage, and they'll have a jump in the backline trying to isolate him, but he just dies! The Rubik is melted, and look at the Sven, the Ravage is coming to a Pike, 1, 2, 3, pull kill, and he wants to get some more, no, he will actually start getting pushed back by the 4 buybacks on the side of Estar Backs, the Static Storm muting the Troll Warlord 1 versus 1, but the damage is coming through, the Yules will put up the Sven in the air for a few seconds, and look at the refresher, the Sven has a fresh BKB, does he get the chance to pop it, or is he chased on? Yes, he does, turn around, Satanic, back to full HP, DK is dead, no more Dark Mago, no more Troll Warlord, and no more Estar Backs as Beast Coast advances to the top 3 of EPL World Series Season 10.
That was just such a clean fight from Beast Coast. They literally didn't lose a single person, and Sven just put the team on his back. Did he actually reach 1,000 XPM? I didn't tell.
Oh, we're gonna find out just in a moment, my friend. What a performance, I have to say. Pike outshining Jim Park in both of those games. Overall score 38-9 for his side. Beast Coast looking really, really good. In the end, he did not just reach XPM 1,000. Lumpy did. Pike went to 1,200. Unbelievable.
I would be surprised if that wasn't the highest in the whole tournament, actually. That's a lot. I mean, dude, you have to give Pike MVP of both Game 2 and the series. I mean, the guy was a monster. Estar Backs could barely keep him in Game 1, and Game 2 he was out of his cage. Waxen, that was probably the most convincing Game 2 or game of the tournament. I don't know if there was anything close to that.
It was completely obliteration top to finish from Beast Coast, and they've only lost that one series in the upper bracket versus Infinity, right? Since they dropped down below, they have gained their hunger back, and they are showing us, okay, we shouldn't be here. We had a day off, and we are gonna come back for the throne. And if I'm Leviathan or Infinity, I'm very scared to see Beast Coast waiting to pounce onto us tomorrow, which will also be the grand final day.
But, you know, coming up next in this today is going to be Infinity Esports versus Leviathan. 2 teams that I think had major upsets, and Infinity Esports, they kind of showed that it doesn't matter how far behind they are, they will come back. There's always a chance for them in the game, and Leviathan kind of came out of nowhere in the tournament and have stepped that up a level. It's going to be an incredibly exciting series to watch.